Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, lad. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for coming along to episode 107 of the DayZ Podcast. I'm joined today by Dump and Lemons. How are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Very nice.
Doing pretty good.
Lemons,
Not too bad.
Lemons, he's contracted the COVID, unfortunately. So if he's not active during this the stream, that's why. But we are joined by our very good friend and guest, am2ruthless. How you doing, mate?
Doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yes, I'm doing really,
I imagine
really good.
it's pretty late for you, though. Yeah.
It's just gone 9 p.m. But
not
it's the Queen's Jubilee, so yes. I have shaved. I've had a haircut. I've even styled it just because I love all of you. But yes.
Yeah, you're looking pretty good, man.
Thank you, and you do as well. I love what you got going there. I wish I could pull that off.
Yeah, dude, I've been working on this for years. I can't grow a full beard, but this is
Hell
magic.
yes.
Love this.
Hell yes, man. Hell yes. So I just wanna so you are a Twitch streamer, aren't you?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing that for?
Let's see. I'll probably maybe like steadily about 2 months, 3 months
Right.
steadily. I tried it not too long ago and then just couldn't get into it.
Mhm.
And then I kind of, got away from it. And then I started, that's actually when I came across the podcast. And this is when Boydie and all of you guys were like, in the podcast, getting heavy with it.
Mhm.
And I listened to, what stream was it? It was the podcast that he had Lax Hawthorne in.
Right. Oh bloody hell.
Yeah, and then right after that, I listened to the one where he had Mr. Blackout in, and then from
Right.
that point on, like that's, what kind of I kept listening to the podcast. I listened to it at work, and then it kind of got me like wanting to get back into streaming, and so like just a couple months ago, I picked it back up, and I've been doing it straight ever since. So.
Hell yeah, and it's been going well for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been going. I mean, surprisingly, I never thought that I would get where I'm at right now. Like right now, I think I'm sitting at 74 followers. And like when I first started it, like I stayed at like 10 for like a month, and
Right.
then all of a sudden, just boom. I mean, I actually like I'm almost actually if this stream goes well, like I should be at affiliate after this.
I have fingers crossed for you, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
on Twitch on my personal one, I'm an affiliate, and it's pretty good. So keep at it. But before we do go on, you did write a little bio, so I do want to go through that, so our people can know exactly what you're about.
All right.
My name is Christian. I am saying that right, yes?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for that. I'm a 28-year-old streamer and gamer. I'm a father of 4, 3 boys and a girl. Very nice, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up playing on console. I started out on Nintendo and eventually moved to PlayStation and Xbox and now PC. It's quite a catalogue. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I've been playing DayZ for about a good year and a half now, maybe more, and up until recently I played on Xbox. I was introduced to the game by my brother-in-law Matt. I started playing DayZ on officials and then was introduced to community service through once again my brother-in-law, but as we all know, console only has channel Livonia to play on, so I grew accustomed to Livonia.
Yeah.
Ew, just ew.
I can't. I mean, the only
on.
reason I grew accustomed to Livonia though is because like where I live at in the U.S., I live in Georgia, and
Right.
so it's like a heavily wooded area, and so like that to me like was I'm already used to that, and so that to me
Right.
was I kind of grew accustomed to Livonia. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Cherno, but yeah.
I mean, Cherno's always going to be like a soft spot in all our hearts, but
Oh
Livonia,
yeah.
I tried it. I'm waiting to see what DOJ does with it before I make another judgment on it. But my favorite server on console is none other than oh god, this is
It's a long one.
A high loot full map PvP awesome Helly's official best server for PvP hands down in my opinion. Well balanced loot and player base is always high to full pop. Well, that's it. That's the main thing that you want to try and go for with a server. Especially if you regularly play, you want it to be like, high pop, full pop. And, we've talked on the podcast quite a few times about what's our preferred server. And I'm more of like, whatever, floaty boat. So,
Yeah.
Are you good at PvP?
I'm actually pretty decent at PvP, yeah. I mean, when I first started, like I said, in DayZ, when I first started, I mean, obviously, when everybody first starts, they have no clue what they're doing. Like, I mean, the whole game is a learning curve itself. And so, I mean, when I first started, I was obviously playing on officials on a Cherno, but, console, I can't say the same for PlayStation, but for Xbox, there's not that many official servers that are, like, live anymore. Like, they're there, but nobody really plays them, so like you're kind of forced to switch to the community servers.
I mean,
and then so for a while, we were like me and my brother-in-law, we were searching around for community servers, it's like some decent ones to get into, and then we stumbled across Hellies, and so we hopped in that server, and within the first hour to 2 hours, I was already addicted to that server. Like I could not stop playing that server. And
well,
then,
that's fucking good.
Like, I jumped in there to try and get that the communications with other people, like the how you meet people and then have these adventures, but this server wasn't like that. And so then I quickly figured out that this server, like the second you see somebody, either you kill them or they're gonna kill you. And so then that got me used to the whole PvP aspect of DayZ. And so I mean, because like this server, like the loot balance, I'm talking like helis spawn with plate carriers with pouches, and then you'll have maybe 2 M4s, 1 green, 1 black, and then a tundra, and so forth, so forth. I mean, the server's built for PvP. Yeah, you can build bases, but it's made for PvP.
Yeah, it's a real like raw PvP experience. You're just throwing in, have fun, have a laugh, go mental. Yeah, there's no chance for like, oh hey, I'm friendly, don't shoot me. It's just like you are dead. That's it.
Yep. And they might talk to you, but they're gonna shoot you afterwards.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's just like hello, bye.
Yep.
Favorite, and just to continue on as well. Favorite servers on PC. Well, as of right now, I'm trying to figure that out for myself. But so far, I really like the Day 1 servers and the DayZ Aftermath servers. That's fair. Yeah, the DayZ 1 servers. There's. I mean, it's pretty good. A lot of content creators get on there. Same with the Aftermath servers. So so that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I'm a new streamer who's striving to grow and bring anyone who's willing to come along on my daily journey of the game. We all love and sometimes hate DayZ. I played mouse and keyboard on Xbox DayZ, so the switch to PC wasn't too harsh. I'm still adjusting to the vast collection of new weapons and maps and clothing and even cars. And bless those vehicles. I love this game. I just wanted to share my experiences with you all. And you work for a company delivering doors and trimming windows to houses that are being built. So, I'm actually quite interested in that last bit. So, how long have you been working there for?
Let's see. I started working for this company, I guess back in it was October 11th of last year.
Right.
Is when I started working for this company. And before that, I was working at a sawmill for like 4.5 years.
Right, so you're very much a hands-on kind of person.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anything construction, love it.
That is really good. So fair to say that are you a good base builder then, or you just like sod that shit?
Oh man, I love base building so much. Like it's like my favorite thing to do. But I haven't tried to do it on PC yet. Right. That's the one thing I haven't attempted yet, and like I'm gonna eventually get around to it. But yeah, like building bases, like my mind is like, I'm very creative when it comes to doing things like that. So I'm always like, I wonder if I can do this. And if it works, I'm like, oh, hell yeah. That means I could probably add this to it,
Yeah, and it just goes on and on and on from there. It's wild. It's wild what you can do, especially with modded base building, which is its own can of worms. So, but that's really good, dude. So, what was you said you come from Xbox, but what was the first patch you came into?
Oh man, let's see. I think I came in. It was either right before they added the ability, like for your legs to be broken, or right after.
Oh bloody hell! When the hell was that?
I think wasn't like maybe 1.11, maybe 1.10.
Must be. No, it must have been way before then.
Yeah, because I had played it.
1.7.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Because I had played it like once or twice before, but like I had stepped on, stuff like that, never got my leg broke. And then all of a sudden, like I come back to it after a few months of not playing it, and I step on a bear trap, my leg snapped. I'm like, whoop.
Oh, that is, yeah. We've all been there. Especially, I think one of the worst experiences I've had with like stepping on a bear trap, it's the cases where you can see it, but you can't stop yourself, like when you climb a ladder.
Yep.
And you're in the animation to actually get up off the ladder, and you're just seeing you like, here we go.
All going into slow
Just
motion.
like, oh shit.
Yes, pretty
Or when you
much.
open the
Flash
door
before your
and
eyes.
somebody has a landmine just sitting right there, but you're already like barging in there, so like you step on it, you're like, well, shit. All right, well,
Yes,
you just
exactly.
eat shit.
And then
Playing
actually
all your life choices.
been there. But yeah, that was 110. That was 110, that update. I just quickly double checked on that because I kept wanting to say 1.8, like what 1.08, but no, but that's a fair while.
Regardless, what a way to be all like, welcome back to DayZ.
Yeah.
Yes. Shit, fucking hell, yeah. But no, yeah, so that's what, now coming up 8 patches into the game. So what I mean, obviously you streamed the game, but what's your thoughts on it as you've seen it develop from that point on to now?
It's definitely changed like quite a bit, especially for console side, because like I mean I know PC's always had a bigger version, variety of different things for the game, but I never got to experience that until recently. And so for the console side of it, like there was a lot of like drastic changes and like good changes, because like I mean used to, like especially for cars on console, you can drive one now without being sent straight through the map and then like slung all over the place. Used to you couldn't get in one without it bouncing all over the place. Like you couldn't drive 5 foot. But now they've kind of leveled that out a little bit, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
And then so like it also like for console, because like I said, I love base building, and so when they added the whole the no clipping thing and all that stuff, like that increased it like
Yes,
a good bit.
I can imagine.
And so,
I mean, yeah, because even on like PC,
you guys are frozen on my end for a second.
Well, shit. Can you still hear us? I assume not. Looks like am2ruthless running into some technical difficulties, but that's fine. Are you all right? Can you hear us now?
I think he
I think
no,
he did.
no, I can still see him move.
Oh, yep, yeah.
There we are.
There we are. Oh, are we all good?
Yeah, we're good. For some reason, for a second, you guys were frozen on my end. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, that's not good. Could you
So
not hear
good.
us at
Yeah,
all?
we're good. Nah, I mean, for like, it was just the, it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
If that does happen again, let us know, and we'll shut up and wait for you to get it all sorted out. What the fuck was I saying?
We were talking about cars. I think Lemon said something about railroads.
Yes.
Yeah,
there
we were
was an
talking about
issue.
base building.
Yeah, and the base building, yes.
Yeah.
I still remember the clip of what was it? It was Kamishovo, wasn't it? It was Kamishovo. And
the Gunter?
and the gunter like slammed into the person. Let's see if we can get that video, because that was
where the guys are
absolutely...
fist fighting, and then
yes,
you just see the
comes out
car
of nowhere and
take out
knocks
the
him
person.
out.
Have you seen that clip yet, Ruthless? Have you seen that? Mate, oh, dude, right, okay.
It's comical gold.
Right.
Was that on console or on PC?
I believe it was console.
That's usually where they come from, so...
Let's see if I can find it. Oh.
Yeah, my craziest experience with a car, like so far on console, was like I was trying to pull into our base, and you know how that like some places have the metal gates you can open up.
Yes.
Well, I was parked right in front of it and had no clue this was coming. But my brother-in-law opens the gate, and then for some reason it sends the car that I'm in flying like 40 foot back, and it flips and kills me. And he's just like looking, like he sent me the video of it, but he's just like looking around like, what just happened? I'm like, dude, I'm dead.
cars are to be, sought after and feared.
Yeah, yeah, you're
You
not
know,
An
lying.
environmental hazard.
You're not bloody wrong, like, Jesus Christ. I can't find the
Look,
video.
dude, there's a car. Let's take it. No, your friend gets in.
That's it,
Yep.
all gone. That's it. You're on the other side of the map. You're completely destroyed. It's lucky if you even survive. Nah, I can't find the video. That's fine though. If anybody can find that clip, do send us over because I really want Ruthless to see that. But oh mate, it's so good. But so you're seeing that it's definitely changed from when you first played. That's fair enough. Have you managed to play much of 1.18 though?
No, I haven't gotten around to that on experimentals yet.
Right, so you're just waiting for it to hit stable and then you'll take a stab at it.
Yeah. Well, I thought about checking some of it out this weekend, but we have a camping trip planned, so that may not be till Sunday. So yeah.
Right, fair enough.
But I mean,
That's
for
fair
the most
enough.
part, like I've been on PC for maybe 2 weeks now, and so to be honest, I'm just checking out all the maps and all the new stuff. Like, my mind, like when I get into a game, like I load in and I go, run around looting, and I find a gun that I've never got to see before on console. I instantly just want to pick it up, and I'm trying to find ammo for it, and then in the process of me trying to find ammo for that one, I find another gun that I haven't, ever got to use. So I pick that one up, and then I find myself,
yes.
yeah, and then I find myself not knowing which one I want to use, and so I'm like, I'm still at that process. So
Bless. Yeah, I've been there. I think I was like that back. Because my first patch was roughly about 0.59, 0.60, and I was very new, I was very fresh to the game, and obviously, widely different to what we all got now, that's for sure. And I think that's when I kind of like first stemmed into like 2 seconds. Lemons, you've just DM'd me. I'm just gonna quickly check that out, my guy.
I found the video.
Oh, fucking get in! Nice.
Finish the thought. Finish the thought.
Oh yeah, I'll finish the thought. Yes, but I was exactly the same thing. It was like you getting the new features, but getting into the game, and you come across and it's like, oh, I'm gonna take that. I need to find some more ammo for that. Oh, I need to do that. I need to do this, and then it just tumbles and tumbles, and it's just like, oh my bloody god, it's crazy. It is crazy, but it's fun. It's so fun though. It gets the intrigue, and keeps you coming back. I'm just going to quickly nab this link here.
Me and my former server owner B-Dub had a rule about guns though. The best gun is the one you have ammo for.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yep.
I'm going to post it in the chat here. I'm also going to DM you as well. There you go. Let's see if I can get it up for all of us as well. Give me a second. Oh my god. This is going to be fun. Right, okay.
So giddy about it.
I am actually really giddy about it. This is going to be fun. Right. Just need to quickly sort out the thing. There we go. Right. I didn't even share that. Oh my god, I'm such an amateur. Sorry. Just for you
You're all
guys.
giggling to yourself.
Yeah,
I'm just.
no, we're
I'm like. Yeah. Sorry about that. Right. Oh bloody hell! Everything's going wrong here. I love that clip so much. I fucking love that clip so much. It's so good. Oh lordy lord.
I'd love to know the events that led up to that, like how that car got airborne.
That
Well,
would be a
that's
cool
it, because
story.
you could see in the background, you could see in
There
the
was two
background.
vehicles.
It was more than two. It was like an absolute cluster of vehicles right in the background, just went up in the air, and then that gun to get
What
destroyed.
I think may have happened is they may have set up an event and had only one spawn for the event, so that every car for that Gunter spawned in the same spawn point. I had it happen with a truck spawn once, so they all spawn inside each other. So if you have a high number, like if he put 100 vehicles, all of those vehicles are going to spawn inside of each other, and
Yes.
it's just pure chaos. So
Oh, bless.
Great way to destroy your server's FPS too.
That's fine. It's all right. Who needs FPS? Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, lordy lord. So,
Also, somebody asked about our view of environmental threats.
well, I'll get
Probably talk about
to.
that later.
Yeah, there's been a few questions coming in. We'll get to that when we talk about the regular topics. So just bear with, guys. Want to talk to Ruthless, get to know him, and so just bear with, people. Thank you. But yeah, so obviously you said your Twitch stream with DayZ. Is it just DayZ that you kind of just want to stream, or is there other avenues you want to pursue?
Well, I mean, for now is mostly DayZ, and then I do stream. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or played it, but State of Decay.
Oh, mate, that game.
Yes.
Yeah,
good.
dude. So State of Decay 2, I did play the first one, but State of Decay 2 is the shit. That game is badass. So I do stream it, and I'm still waiting on them to drop the third one. I've watched the preview video for 1,000 times. And I find myself checking at least once or twice a week if there's any update on when it's going to drop. But yeah, for now I stream DayZ and State of Decay 2. But I was thinking about getting into I've never got to play Tarkov or Scum or anything like that. So I was kind of thinking about getting into that as well.
Yeah. I would recommend. I would definitely recommend you kind of find the games or the kind of type of games that you enjoy streaming, because the last thing you want to do is just tie yourself down to one particular thing, which is quite ironic considering with the DayZ podcast all we ever do is stream the DayZ podcast. So but as your own personal thing, I would definitely recommend getting into more of Tarkov and Rust. Find what's more better for you. Your audience will come, and then eventually mainly they'll want to just see you, and they won't care what game you play.
Oh yeah, and see this, I said, I love playing DayZ, and then I love playing State of Decay. So that so far I do play other games, but I'm not as interested in those other ones as I am DayZ and State of Decay.
Yeah.
So for now, that's the only two that I'll stream. If I when I stream, it's gonna be one of those two games. For now.
Oh,
so
that's fair enough.
Very nice.
Pardon me. Sorry.
So
go on, Dom.
I was just gonna ask more questions if you were done.
Yeah, mate, go for it. Ask away.
Nice. So, what are the major differences that you have actually noticed and liked or disliked between coming from console to PC? Just a couple examples.
All right. So okay. So on console, we obviously only have Chernarus and Livonia.
Yes.
So the biggest difference between going from console to PC is the variety of maps, the variety of weapons. Even the people, even the confrontations are so much different from console to PC, because on console you do get those, sometimes you will get those people that just want to, they'll meet some random person and be like, hey man, you want to run together? But that very rarely happens on console unless you're playing on a roleplay server.
Yes.
And so, but in PC, what I've noticed is that not everybody's out to kill you. Yeah, you will get KOS'd. It happens. It's happened to me
Naturally,
several times.
It's DayZ, for Christ's sakes, yeah.
But for the most part, the group, it's the people that's the biggest change for me, is how much sense of adventure they have, they don't want to just kill you right off the rip. And so if they hear you come in the building, if they're in the building and they're upstairs and they hear you come in, they're not going to immediately just start shooting. They're going to be like, hey, hello. They're going to try and talk to you first. And that doesn't
Yeah.
happen on console at as much. And so that's something that I've definitely noticed is the change in the people.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Very nice.
It's quite intriguing that I've never really. I know Sarge has just said in the chat as well, about because he used to be console and he went to PC. It's quite an interesting dynamic that you find with that. You would think maybe PC's more like, I guess you could say unfriendly, but I mean that's kind of just. But obviously it's not that at all. So that's quite an interesting thing. Well, Lemons, what about yourself? I mean, you do a bit of both.
Yeah, you can definitely notice there's a difference. It's subjective to each player, and a lot of people have their different experiences depending on what servers they play on, and it also depends whether or not they're on community or official in their time playing. But I think the general consensus is usually that there's a lot more interaction on PC than console, because we've spoken about this before on the podcast, and just a lot of people who play on the console version came from other types of arcade games like maybe Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever it may be, and they're just more interested in that kind of PvP KOS type gameplay.
Yeah.
And I think that could be why you miss some of that interaction, but there definitely is a gap between the two, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is pretty. Overall, it is quite an interesting aspect. I mean, I've been strictly PC. I tried to dabble in with the Xbox version, but it was like the absolute original Xbox model, and I have a lot of respect for people who play on console. Let's just put it that way. I could not do it. I could absolutely not do it. After that one night, I was like, nah, I'm out. Thanks, but no thanks. So, nice. But it is really awesome that you do get people come from the console to PC, and and I know people do like to kind of like shit on PC a little bit as well, but we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. We'll all have a mutual love for the game, so you can't go wrong with it. I think you can't go wrong with it.
Right.
No, we'll convert all of you eventually. PC Master Race. I'm kidding. One thing I did get peeked at by you, Ruthless, was you did mention that you love base building, and it would be cool to hear about your favorite base build.
Oh man. Okay. All right, so my favorite base build. All right, so for any of you that's played Livonia, there's a town in Livonia called Adamau.
Right.
And so in Adamau, like if you're walking from Toplin into Adamau, and you walk straight through Adamau, and once you get like right before you get to the military base up there in Moranton, there's a long barn on your right.
Right.
Okay, so that barn has a decent bit of the concrete walls that are already in the game built around the barn, and it's got a massive compound in there. And so the very first time I was ever inspired to build a base was when me and my brother-in-law were playing on this, helis, and we stumbled across that base. Like somebody had, previously built a base there, but had abandoned it. And so, you could tell, because, there was walls that were open and, gates, there was no flag there, nothing. So that,
right.
we thought, we're like, why don't we just take this over? And he wasn't, okay with it at first. But then he was like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. We haven't built a base. At that point, I hadn't built a base either, and neither one of us honestly was knew how to do it. So we started, watching YouTube videos and learning how to do it. And then so within 2 days' time, we had completely, fixed all the walls, built another, outer layer around the base. Just one wall layer around it. Added a code lock to it and stuff like that. And then we sat down and started bringing stuff into finding out how do we build this, what else can we build, how can we make this bigger, because on that server it's raid anytime, but the base damage is only on the weekends, and so we knew the weekend was coming up, so it's raid 24/7, but you can't shoot through walls until the weekend. So basically the way that server works is if you can boost over, then it's every man for himself. If somebody's able to boost into your base, then that's on you. But
right.
so so we knew the weekend was coming up, so we're like trying to figure out ways to, we didn't have much in the base to begin with, but we just wanted to see how good it was. And so like for the longest, like we built, we're just building on this base, making it massive. And like for a while, nobody noticed it was there. I mean, it's right on the road, like you can't miss it. But for a while, like nobody came through there. And then
Right.
all of a sudden, like people, like one weekend, we're just sitting there hanging out, waiting on people to see if people's gonna come to our base, And then all of a sudden, like as soon as we go to log off, like he logs back on because he forgot to put a code lock on him, and he logs back in, and there's like a group of like 5 guys just standing out the door. And he's yeah, and so he slaps the code lock on real quick, calls me on the phone. He's like, "Hey, we're getting raided." And I'm like, "What? We just logged." He's like, "Dude, I know," but he said I logged back in because I forgot to put the code lock on the main gate, and so I went and did it. And as soon as I go to close the gate, there's 5 guys standing right outside the wall. And I'm like, "Well, shit, dude, let me turn my shit back on and get on."
Right.
So I'm loading in, and in the process of loading in, my character I had logged out outside. And so as soon as I spawn, as soon as I load in, like, everything's taking a second to log in. So I can see these guys, spreading out around the base. And I have no clue which one to take out first. And I'm the only one outside. He's locked inside the base. And it's just us two there to defend it. And so, like, he's talking to me on, the party chat. He's like, "Hey, man, I can't see him. Can you point him out?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's 5 of them. There's one here, here, here. And I'm about to shoot this one." And so at this point, I'm like, if I shoot all 5 of them, gonna know where I'm at. If I kill one, that's fine, but the other 4 is gonna know where I'm at. So like, I just go for it.
Yeah.
So I shoot one, kill him. I go to move positions, and then 2 more come around the back side of the barn and go ahead and they just take me out. And so at this point, I'm still learning Livonia.
Right.
And so when I die, I think I spawned in like Sitnik, and I have no clue how the hell to get back to Adamau. And so, like, I spend an hour and a half trying to get back. And he's sitting there, fighting them off. Well, they finally come in. And so all he has left is a AKM with a 75-round drum. And he's in the very back of the barn, hiding behind like 3 tents and a barrel. And they just barge in and start just lighting the place up. I mean, they're just tearing tents down. He's shooting back,
Yeah.
and he's like screaming. He's like, "This is the end. This is the end." Well, sure enough, it was, man. Like, he went down, and I could hear it all through his mic, and it was intense. It was fun as shit, dude. Like, I wasn't even mad that we got raided because that shit was so fun.
That's
It was
awesome. That's one of
awesome.
those memories that make you love DayZ more, right?
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah, and so
that's
like
amazing.
now, anytime I load into any Livonia server, the first place I go check to see if there's a base at is that barn in Adamau on any server. And so it's like,
Very
if
nice.
there is a base there, I lurk it for a couple weeks, see if it's active, and if it is active, I raid it, and then I try to take it over, because that
Yeah.
base is sentimental to me, because like that
Nice.
spot is where I, originally first built a base, like ever in
Oh,
DayZ. So
That is
it's such a good
brilliant.
story. I love it. What I love about it is that you found a base that had been abandoned. It was decaying, and you took it back over, and it came out to this amazing experience. I love stuff
oh
like
yeah.
that. I eat that stuff up for breakfast. I love it to death.
Oh yeah, it was so awesome, dude. Like, and then like, okay, so above the base in Adamo, there was this guy in a Marathon military base, and he was trying to like actually make that his base. Like, he had it walled off and everything. So he had the entire military zone to himself, pretty much. And so, like, at first we didn't know him, so we kept like sneaking in and grabbing weapons, and then we would just leave. We would just get what we needed and then get out. Well, he caught us one day and kills us, and then so we spawn back in, loot up, and then make our way back up there, and we kill him. And then so it started this little
back
battle.
and forth.
Yeah, back and forth thing, and then like he ended up inviting us to an Xbox party one day. And we just talked to him for a minute. He ended up actually being a cool guy. So, we became friends. And he had like 4 other people that, were building bases close to us. So we all like made this one giant group. There was like 8 of us.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we had brought in this guy. I can't remember his name to save my life. But we had brought in this guy. And like, I was actually the one that brought him in. But he was cool to start off with. And then he ended up like being fishy. Like, he was one of those guys that like, he joined us just to use what we had in the base. Like, he would spawn in, come run in, claim a tent, whatever we had looted that day, he would run back out with it and then go PvP. Which was, we didn't mind that to begin with, but then after a while it kind of got annoying. because like he wouldn't actually play with us. He would just use this as a quick loot up and then go do whatever he had to do.
Yeah.
Well, we finally got tired of it, and so we all like devised this plan because he had his main account and his alternate account.
Okay.
We didn't know where he had placed his alternate account at, so we had to be smart with it. And then so what we did was we remembered where he logged his main out at, and so we planted the landmine there at the front gate. And so when he logged back in, he always messaged us when he was getting on. And I was like, hey guys, he's getting on. So he logs in. He steps, like as soon as he loads in, I peek around the corner and he steps back and hits his landmine. So I immediately run up to him while he's uncon. He's flipping out in the Xbox part. He's like, yo, who planted a landmine there? Who planted a landmine there? I shoot his main in the face. And then he comes and he's like, yo, somebody just shot me. And I'm like, we're all pretending like we're all getting shot at, right? And then so he comes running down the hill with his alternate account. We did this to find out where his alt was.
Right.
Because he only had 2. And so there his alternate comes in, and at this point he still thinks we're all under attack, so we're all like, pretending to be hiding and on alert and shit. And he comes running inside the walls, and my brother-in-law gets behind him, and he's like, I'm just trying to find out who planted that landmine. He's like, hey. And he's like, what? And my brother-in-law's like, you're out, man. And then she shoots his alt right in the back of the head.
Oh, that is...
Oh, man, that's epic.
That is
it was
brutal.
It was, yeah. And so, I mean, like, and that's where it kind of because, Ruthless, that's kind of like where my gamer tag comes from, too. Because, like, my brother-in-law's gamer tag used to be am2ruthless. Because, like, he's notorious for doing shit like that. Like,
okay.
We're always, coming up with these, like, crazy-ass ideas, and trying to pull them off. And so when we pulled that one off, like, we were so stoked that we pulled it off. Like, it was like a movie or something. It was so awesome.
Yes.
And so, like, he came up with that, and then so I was like, you know what? Because we've always had, like, similar gamer tags. And so, like, I came up with am2ruthless, because, like, in DayZ, it really depends on, like, what server I'm playing, but I can be pretty ruthless.
You got to
And
be.
so
You've
it's
got
like,
to be.
yeah, you gotta be. I mean, you gotta be. And so, like,
Cool.
so we ran am2 Notorious and am2ruthless for a while. And so, like, I stayed with am2ruthless, and he ended up switching his to something else. But he changed his gamer tag. But I stuck with Ruthless because, I like it. So
It's,
and it
it's a
kind of
nice name,
describes
to be fair.
my
Yeah.
it kind of describes my, like, style of play. And
Nice.
so that's where that came from.
That's cool. That's cool to hear about kind of like origin story of the name too.
What a fucking story, though. Holy.
I know. Did you clip it?
Yeah.
Because that'd be an epic video clip.
No, I wish we did. That would have been so awesome, man. But no, there was so much going on in that short amount of time that
The
we
way I'm
like
picturing your
made
brother
one.
doing that. My bad.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Just say the way I picture your brother doing that, going "you're out," is like either in like a Clint Eastwood voice or a John Wayne voice, just like "you're out."
Yeah, like, I mean, that's pretty much how it went. Like, he was like, hey, because, like, this guy's screaming, like, he's screaming, flipping out, and, like, my brother's trying to get his attention. He's like, hey, and then finally he goes, what? And he's like, you're out. Just boom, blows his head off.
Gone.
Just
nice.
drops.
That
And then we
is-
start laughing and, like, we're, like, screaming, like, dude, we did it, because, like, we'd all improvised this plan, and it played out the exact same way we wanted it to, so it was awesome.
Nice.
And what happened to that guy? Was that last time you ever heard from him?
That was the last time we ever heard from him. Like, he messaged me on Discord and was like, yo, dude, sorry for, just using y'all as a loot up, man. He was like, it was fun. He was like, y'all, good luck, y'all. And that was it. I mean, like, no hard feelings. There was nothing. I mean, he never tried to retaliate. Nothing. So, I mean.
That's actually quite nice to hear, because, you hear stories like this not relatively often, but it's always, the guy who's on the receiving end, they get very salty and they try and do this, that, and the other to, like, completely ruin your experience. But it's like, you know what? They had a point. GG. Take care of yourselves. And that's the good camaraderie that you sometimes get with DayZ. So, apart from him, you're obviously stealing your shit and then losing it all.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Asshole.
Oh, bless. But yeah, no, that was actually a really, really cool story. And
Would have been a perfect YouTube video, like one of those like
It
Nezar
would've.
style cinematic videos.
Oh, yeah, man. That would be
would've been
awesome.
sick. That would have been sick. But maybe there'll be another time for that. But
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, on top of the Twitch streaming, do you have any other plans? Like, are you thinking about like uploading like maybe bits and like clips to a YouTube channel or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, I am thinking about starting a YouTube channel. Because I mean, like I said, like I'm still getting used to the whole PC thing, so I'm still
Mhm.
trying to. I mean, to be honest, I'm still trying to figure out what platform I want to stream on.
Right.
So I haven't figured out. Like right now, I'm streaming on the Twitch beta, and so I mean that's like I can figure that one out. But when it comes to like OBS or like Streamlabs or whatever, like I've played around with them,
Mhm.
but I'm not quite there at figuring out how to which platform I want to stream from. And I know that like OBS you can record on, and so like I do want to get into YouTube because like I've watched several YouTube videos
Yeah.
of like Mr. Black Eyes videos, Lax, Minder, The Running Man, all those. I mean, I
Mhm.
watched all their videos, like a lot of them. And so I mean, like just watching their videos and like how they do things, and they're like
Yeah.
the cinematic build up, to their video. Like I want to do that too. I mean, that's pretty awesome. But
Mhm.
it's just the process of learning how to do it.
I think I think the best way to do it is, if you're able to, is to do it through. Well, actually, no, that's a good question because it's like I know a lot of people are migrating from Twitch to YouTube, which
Mhm.
makes sense, and they bring their audience along with them. And then some people move from YouTube to Twitch, and obviously people like the Running Mans and whatnot. They do both. They got the Twitch channel, and then they just upload their stuff to YouTube. So I think taking the time to learn, when you just got a little bit of time to just learn OBS a bit more, learn that process, and just keep record a couple of little bits and bobs, even get clips. Like if somebody made a clip from your VOD, upload that. Credit the person who made the clip in that, and then just go on from there and see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, then you've tried it. It
Yeah.
doesn't. And then you can just go on from there, which is obviously, it's all trial and error at the end of the day when it comes to content creation. I think we can all attest to that. Holy shit. Been there, done
Nah,
that.
you didn't make it down. Whatever.
Yeah, okay. No,
I'm
but
just no.
I do hope for the best for if you do decide to do that, and you do keep us up to date with the YouTube channel and the Twitch channel as well. And I really do
I
hope
do have a
that.
question for that, for you, Ruthless. I do
Yeah,
have a
what's up,
question
man?
regarding the content creation. So, I know you've built up such a large community for all the stuff you've been doing on Xbox, like for the console community, and recently, as you were saying, you've made the jump to PC. Now that you have these new tools and these new streaming options, are you gonna like invest in like a capture card to continue streaming console stuff, or do you want to start tiptoeing into the PC scene as well?
I did think about investing into a capture card because I mean, like, I don't want to just like completely ditch, console because I mean, like, I grew up on console. So I mean, I have a Series X sitting, mounted to the wall
Mhm.
behind me. So I mean, I don't want to just completely ditch console. And so I have considered, investing into like a capture card, but like I really do want to get into the PC side of things too because like I mean, PC's like always been a big dream of mine. And so like I've never really been able to quite get there.
Mhm.
And so like now I'm here. And so like I've got like 1,000 things going through my mind of like what I want to do. I just don't know how I want to, what I want to approach first. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
But
mean,
yeah, I do plan on
Yeah,
streaming
yeah.
I would
from both
definitely,
sides.
yeah, I would definitely recommend you don't drop the console side. 'Cause if there's one thing, I mean, and correct me, anybody in chat or anybody here can correct me if I'm wrong. You don't really see enough console streamers at
Yeah.
all. So having
You
kind of
don't
like,
see a lot of high professional ones. What I
well,
mean
yeah,
by that is there's a lot of console streamers, but the majority of them don't look very good, right?
well,
Like
that's it, yeah.
their console's
Like
buggy, their
any high
streaming's
effort,
really low
yeah,
quality, like
Mm.
that.
yeah.
But like Project Lemons was saying, it'd be cool to see someone do more console streaming that actually had a higher quality stream. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool to see. Not to mention your community, like you said, also is there for you for consoles. So making sure you bring them with you to PC as well as maintaining your console presence is probably good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I actually just sent you a clip, lad, of what, because we were in a, and this was actually from the previous owner of Hellies, but he had did this, little, I guess, what'd you call it, like, kind of like team deathmatch on like a little test server. And so we were just running it because like he was trying to like figure out how to like, do some kind of like Call of Duty thing to where like, we spawn in, loot up, and then, two teams go head to head.
Okay.
And so this is just a little clip from that. And it's on console, so.
All right, no problem at all. Let me just try and get it all up on the stream here.
And I actually think I still have pictures of the very first base that I was telling you guys about, like how me and my brother-in-law, like what we did after we built it.
Yeah.
That's a wall. That's a nice wall.
Oof. Yeah, I would have died right there. And that was on console.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. I would have been that. I would have been easily dead. I'm terrible at
Yeah.
PvP. Absolutely.
And then
That's the one thing with console, man. They are crazy with PvP. Like I've seen people like drop shot, they'll go down into prone and start rolling while they're shooting. Like they do like crazy, crazy stuff.
Yes.
That's crazy.
I know what you mean.
And it's all with a controller.
yeah, yeah. And that was actually before I got on mouse and key, because like I was completely clueless that you could use a mouse and keyboard on console.
Yeah.
And so like I had no clue. So like, obviously I was playing with a controller. Like I have it. Right here it is. So that going from this to mouse and key. It was hard at first, but like now that I've gotten so used to mouse and key, I can't use a controller on DayZ because DayZ console. Okay, so like for instance, using mouse and key, you can like literally organize your entire inventory on your character.
Oh yes, it's so nice.
Like you can just click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. You can't do that on a controller. You have to hold A and then move over and just
It's
to put it into your
horrible.
inventory. But you can't like legitly organize it. So like me, like medical stuff, I'll put all that in my pouches on my plate carrier or whatever, and then like ammo I'll put in my jacket. Food I'll put in my pants, whatever. I'll have it like completely organized. But you can't do that on a controller. So it's like it's so hard to just go back to using a
Are you
controller.
saying that DayZ Tetris is your favorite feature of the game?
Pretty much, yeah, man. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Finally, another Tetris brother. Oh mate, it's that's the one thing I can never get away with. When I did try it on console, it was the inventory, but it's awesome to see that. I mean, you mentioned it in your bio, but it's really cool that you actually use mouse and keyboard for console. I don't know many people that actually do it. Do you, Lemons? Or do you just stick?
I do
strictly
sometimes, but
right.
whenever I like playing on console, I always play it just to do like a more like casual run. So I'll usually just use the controller, and then if I want to actually go for something more hardcore, I'll just move to the PC.
Right.
So, but sometimes I do, and I do definitely see the upsides of it because it does make inventory Tetris a lot easier.
I can imagine. Yes.
Because it's brutal. Like it's like the joke people make about the Arma navigation. How you have to like type a whole paragraph to jump. It's like that on console for a DayZ trying to move items. Like you have to hold like A and then you have to press RB and LB to try and shift it through, and the inventory's bugged, so you'll have to like scroll down to like scroll up, and it's really crazy. So
yeah, I keep hearing people on like the Twitter that you going on at the devs about like fixing inventory, making it to like before 170, and I'm like, on PC, I'm like, but it hasn't changed. What the fuck are you on about? And I'm like, it must be for console. It must be in console.
Yeah, well, it's a funny thing that you bring that up. A lot of people thought that they took away inventories for certain things, but I know a lot of you guys know that when you hover over an item in your bar, you can click on it to bring the arrow down.
Mhm.
And what had happened was with 1.17, some of the items started with their arrow up in the default position.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of people on console don't actually know that feature exists, so they thought they just took away the inventories for certain items like butt packs. But all you have to do is hover over it and press right stick to open up the category. But
Right.
that's probably what most of the Twitter stuff was about. But there's a few issues with the inventory. Like if you navigate down, sometimes it won't do it all in an even line. Like if you have like a plate carrier, a shirt, and pants, it should go plate carrier, then down to your shirt, then down to your pants. But sometimes it'll go plate carrier, then down to the battery on something that's inside your pants, and it'll shoot up to your t-shirt. And it's very weird with that
That's
sometimes. And I
very
know
weird.
Rathy or Ruth, you probably had some issues with that.
Yeah, man. Okay, so
I just sensed
Okay,
the
so-
pain right there.
yeah, like it's giving me a migraine just thinking about it. But yeah, dude. Okay, so like there's another thing with that, and so like it's when on console, every once in a while you'll have this. I don't even know if it's a bug. It just happens. But like you'll hit your inventory trying to go through stuff, and you're looking for the stuff that you've picked up within the past 5 minutes, and you know you picked it up, but you just don't see it. You're like, where the hell is it at? And so you're scrolling through and you're scrolling through, and then like the stuff inside your shirt's just not there. Like it's not even showing your shirt. You're like, what the hell? And it's like you'll log and then log back in, and then it's still not there, and you're like, what? And then so what I figured out was like every once in a while, and I don't know why it does this, but it does. It will so like if you scroll up to the top and you got like your little portion of where what your character has on, like the shirt, the plate carrier pants, and all that. There'll
Right.
be a little arrow right below it, and if it's pointing, I think if it's pointing up, like if the arrow's up, it'll close and hide everything that's inside of your shirt or pants. So you have to click that arrow down to get it, to be able to see everything that's inside of your shirt or pants.
Right.
And I couldn't figure that out for the longest time. Like I kept getting so mad because I thought it was a bug. So like I would take that shirt off, and then I would hold it in my hand just to see what was inside my shirt. Drop what was inside my shirt, put my shirt back on just to get the food out of my shirt. And I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
This goddamn game.
For real.
Damn.
I think
mean,
the issue too
applause
is
to
as
you
well.
for thinking on
Yeah,
your
go
feet,
ahead.
though.
Yeah. I think the big issue as well is they don't actually show you the controller bind for doing it, because whenever you hover over with anything in your inventory in the bottom left corner, it'll show a button. Like it'll show each button and say what it does. Like if you press A, it'll say press A and it puts the item in your inventory. If you hold X, it'll drop the item. But when you hover over any of those things, like he was saying, it doesn't actually say press down on the right stick to open or collapse the inventory. So I think that might be something that they'll need to address, because a lot of people have issues with that.
What?
Project Lemons?
Do it.
Yep.
Feedback
Time for a
trigger.
petition.
Oh, fuck
Oh
off.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll add the black plate carry while we're at it, yeah.
Oh yeah. And
And
the
red
Gatling gun, the monster trucks, and
Oh,
That
hell
was
yes.
actually another thing I flipped out about the other day. Was I stumbled across a black plate carrier, because on console they're only tan, and so like just the change in the color like made me happier than a kid on Christmas. I was like, holy shit, I found a black plate carrier.
Yeah.
Oh, lordy lord. That must have been one thing, and I know we talked about weapons, but having access to like all this modded content on PC must have just been mind blowing for you.
Oh yeah, I mean it still is. Like I said, I've only been playing it for like 2
Couple of
weeks, like
weeks,
DayZ
yeah.
PC. So I mean like, I know for a fact there's like 1,000 things I haven't stumbled across yet, and so like just every time I hop into a server, no matter what server I'm on, my mission is to find something that I haven't got to use yet.
Mhm.
Like I'm
Yeah.
constantly looking for things, and like okay, say for instance, I was on what server was it? I think it was Genesis PC for Chernarus, and they have these, like at a heli spawn, I found these gloves. They're like covers these 3 fingers, but leaves your thumb and your index open.
Is it a weapon glove by any chance? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
I
And
made
I'm pretty
that.
sure your name was on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I
seen it
made
at
that.
The top. Your name was on it. I found those gloves and I was like, did he really make those? But so, I put those on and I ran with them forever. Like, I didn't change gloves because, like, it was new. It was something totally different. It wasn't a combat glove or a leather glove or anything like that. It was, something new.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I ended up dying by some weird ass monster they had modded in there. But I mean, fuck.
Oh, was
shit
it
happens.
like a smoke monster type thing, or was it like?
It was what was it? Okay, so at the heli spawn, they had zombies spawning in.
Yeah.
But then they also had I want to say it was a leprechaun because, like, when I finally killed it, it had a pot of gold in its inventory. You
Okay.
just have to play the server to know, dude. Like, I'm telling you, like, it was weird, but it was cool. I mean, it was something new. But like, I'm sitting there, like, I unloaded an entire IJ clip into this thing. I unloaded what was it? My scorpion into it, and it just was not dropping. And so, like, it came up to me, and I'm like, I have no more ammo, so I have no choice but to just fist fight this thing. And so, like, I fought it again, fist fighting it for like maybe another 20 seconds, and it finally died. But when I searched its inventory, it had a pot of gold on it. I'm like, was this supposed to be a leprechaun or something? Like,
Oh gosh.
That's class. I love that.
yeah, it was intense. Definitely intense.
I can imagine. Yeah. What you said? What was the server name? Genesis PC.
Yeah, it's Genesis PC. It's a Chernara server, so.
Right. Okay. I'm just trying to think. That's not the one you work on, is it, Dump?
Nope. We
No.
don't have leprechauns.
Right. I was just about to say, did you secretly have leprechauns?
It's like the name of the character was like, it did, like, you couldn't read the name. It just has like a bunch of weird symbols at the
Russian.
top. So, like, honestly, I have no idea what it was, but my money's gonna be on it was Leprechaun simply because it had a pot of gold in its inventory. So, whatever. But it was pretty tall to be a leprechaun.
That's pretty funny.
Fair enough.
Those pesky Russian leprechauns, man.
Mate, they're a fucking breed, I tell you that. Whew.
You guys hear me good?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we can hear you good. Can you hear us?
Let's see, we're paused on my end again for some reason.
Right. No, that's perfectly fine. We'll just wait until that's all sorted out there.
Come on.
You can do it. I believe in your ruthless. And while we wait for that, I just want to quickly showcase something DOJ, a really good friend of mine and
Oh god.
developer of DayZ.
Come
He
on,
turned me in.
arithmetics.
He
Quit
he
pooping out on
turned me. He turned me into an American trucker. I'm not too sure what to think of this. I really don't.
There we
Why?
go. Now we're back. Jeez.
We're good.
I don't know why I don't know why it keeps doing that.
That is
I only
really
have-
weird.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I would have to thank you, Ruthless. You literally just saved us from seeing Lad as an American redneck trucker.
Don't lie. It's right there.
Oh shit.
It's right there.
I'll show me
DOJ.
the truck one.
Oh yes, the truck one. Yes. Okay. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
It's
Oh
horrible.
my god. Yeah, he actually like.
Nice. Nice.
I tell you what, now, boy.
I can get behind that.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn, son. I swear to the Almighty Lord, you don't get off my lawn, you're gonna meet God. What's
All Lad's
awesome.
missing is the red 9 in his hand. Instead of the rifle. Had to happen. Had to happen.
Doing the funny things again.
Fuck you. God damn it. Fucking, I'm never gonna get away from that goddamn red 9, am I?
Get on it, DOJ.
No, please don't. DJ, please don't. I love you. Please don't. But no, but it's. I just can't get away from that goddamn shooting the guy at the back of the head, essentially. But no, it's
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you're out, man. You're out.
you're out.
Well, that's awesome.
But
Yeah,
but
see,
in terms of, because obviously you said you've been playing DayZ PC for about like what 2 weeks, and you played on quite a few servers. What would you say is something in terms of PC you would like to get into, like to try out?
you talking about like DayZ wise?
DayZ wise, yeah, like if there's any like modded maps or anything like that you'd like to try and experience.
I mean, to be honest, they're all new. So like, I'm trying to play like on all of them. Like
Mhm.
the newest one I think is what Yiprit or something like
Yipris,
that.
yes, Mark's made a video on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I actually played on it, and it's not a bad server. It's actually pretty. I mean, like just the weather setting is it's not like sunny, but it's
Hmm.
not like raining.
Right.
So I mean, like there's constant wind blowing, there's leaves, going across the scenery and stuff like that. And so it's like it's a whole new, especially from switching from console, because like even the weather on PC is a lot different than on console. 'Cause, like I
Yes.
mean on the mosque you got like snow, the weather's cold as shit. You have to defrost your food. That took me forever to figure out, dude. I honestly thought that like my fucking connection was just shit or something, because like I couldn't eat. And so I'm logging in, logging back out, logging in. I'm like, what the hell? I played like 3 different Namal servers until I finally figured out that you had to defrost your food. Yeah.
Oh,
And then I felt
bless
like a complete idiot, and I'm like, yeah, that only makes sense, because if I would just took the time to read, hover above my food item just to
Yes.
see the little pop-up thing that says
Frozen.
frozen. Yeah, I probably would have figured that out. But yeah, I mean, it's just the smallest thing is like still mind blowing to me, especially
Mm.
switching from console to PC.
Yes.
But like, I mean, like to me right now, I'm just trying to like learn all these new maps, and so it's like I'm spending time logging, and it's also that also brings me to another thing. It's also brought back the fear of death in the game for me, because like on console, like all I ever did was PvP. And so,
Right.
like, if I die, I just spawn back in, loot up, run out, and, do the same thing. But now that I've got on PC and I've got all these other maps and all these new things to find and discover, and, learn, it's brought back that initial fear of, dying in the game.
Yes.
So, like, now I'm like, I find myself, sneaking through a town and, like, I hear a gunshot. Like, normally, typically, I would run towards it.
Mhm.
Now I'm like trying to avoid it. So
Yeah,
it's like I
nice.
see people and I'll be hiding behind I'll make sure I'm hiding behind like 2 fences and a gate before I, hit my comm and be like, hey, because if they do start turning around trying to shoot at me, they got to shoot through a couple things and I might get away first. So
Might.
Nice.
Might being the key word.
yeah, might be in the keyword.
Well, well, that's it. I mean, something that I do actually want to talk about, and something that Lemons brought to my attention, was like a Reddit post. And it didn't gain too much traction, but I thought it'd be really cool to kind of get into, to kind of show off. Let's see if I can just get the link. I'll just remove the pictures DOJ made, so I don't have to stare at that goddamn American face again. And it was weapons that would be like added to DayZ, like fan requests, I guess you could say. You get posts like this come about every now and again, and it's funny. I said it didn't get too much traction. Then I just realized, I had 212 upvotes and not 12.
Yeah.
So I know one weapon, one modded weapon that's been added and has been done quite a few times, like the PPSH-41. Have you ever found one of them when you've been playing the past couple of weeks?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Oh,
The newest weapon I've came across, I think, is the let's see, I found the Lee Enfield, something called the SVT or something like that.
the SVT-40. Yes.
Yeah, that. And then let's see, I found a honey badger on that Genesis PC server.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as that's the only newest weapons I've been able to come across so far. But that's simply because like I might die before I find Most of the time, I
Let's
spend
see.
myself like, get looted a little bit,
Mhm.
dying from something, then spawning back in and trying to go find stuff again. So
That's it, yeah. I mean,
Interesting.
so if you did have like the choice and you could like add a weapon in a vanilla game, so console and PC have it, what would it be?
if I could add like any weapon into the game,
Any
like
weapon.
one that's
Is
not in the game at all.
Yeah, as long as it's not a Barrett 50 cal, because everybody
Well,
always
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
says
Everybody
that.
always wants the damn Barrett 50 cal. I don't know why, but I mean, you can blow a cereal bowl hole in somebody with a Tundra. Why you need a Barrett 50 cal? But I mean, all right. So like any gun.
Mm.
Hmm. Let's see. Honestly, if I could put any gun in the game, I would probably go with maybe like some sort of like lever action.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like maybe like a let's see, maybe like a 30-6 or something like that. Like some kind of lever action gun. Like bringing that, that Wild West feel to it, you know what I'm saying? Just be like,
Yeah.
that would be pretty cool.
Now, I will say I was not expecting that. Usually, somebody says like something like a Scar H or something like that. Like a high powered military weapon.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So that's kind of like took us back a bit. Sounds pretty good. What about yourself, Dumping Lemons? If you had the option to like add a weapon into vanilla DayZ, what do you think would be the right one?
Can it be weapons that were removed, like that were from like before 0.63?
I know where you're going with this. Yes, we'd all like to see it back. No, you can't say that one.
Oh, no, it's a different one. It's a different one. It's a
All
different
right,
one. It's
okay.
not that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. What is it then?
The BK-133 with a pistol grip.
Oh. Oh, that would actually be
I would
nice.
love to see that again. It's just so fun. The animations are great for it, and it was just. I wish they didn't get rid of it. I wish they didn't get rid of it because that was such a cool looking gun.
Yes. And you know what? I can agree with that. Actually, yes. That would be a brilliant addition. I mean,
I was gonna say Red 9, but.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Dom? What about yourself?
Well, I was gonna say the M249 because I really want a LMG for suppressing fire, but I don't think I'm gonna go with that. I think I would like to see honestly another civilian revolver put in the game. And one of my favorite games shooting growing up was the 22 Black Hawk revolver. Shot 22 rounds, but had a revolver spin on it. Love that gun to death.
Oh yeah.
Looks like it's a little bit longer than the snub nose like revolver, but it only shot 22 rounds, completely black with a wooden grip, most of them as far as I know of. But they were really nice. They didn't have a lot of kick, but up close they were devastating.
All right, okay. Something like this. I'm not streaming it again. Oops.
Oh yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that would actually be a really nice addition. I think more of a focus on civilian weaponry and like more 22 weapons. That would be really, really nice.
Well, just give me a spear gun.
Or that. Or balls.
Go Predator on your ass.
See, for me, I think the Lee Enfield should make a return. It was a fan favorite in the mod, as far as I'm aware. So I think it should be. I think something like that should be brought in, because we've had a fair few bolt action weapons in the game, and one the Savannah was just added recently. So I think having the option to do like a Lee Enfield with a new caliber or something like that, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really nice.
What does it normally shoot?
0.33. I think.
Yeah, it's 303.
Oh, thank you. Thank God that you covered us, because I completely forgot.
Yeah, it's 303.
I was going to say 3 away for a split second, to be honest. Oh my God, just... You know what would be a funny addition? That would absolutely break your fingers and break your hands. Loading a 50 cal into a flare gun. Just for the banter.
I think they would blow up the flare gun.
I think it would do more than just blow up the flare gun. Yeah.
Be like, oh look, my hand's missing.
Yes, exactly. Just, well, something was here, but not anymore.
Right.
Well, let's do what Chaz suggested.
Yeah,
I think we had someone say a Naga 1895.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. Shotgun flares in shotgun shells and flare guns. I've actually done that in DayZ once before. It was quite interesting, and done it the other way around.
You should look up a YouTube video about that. You do not want to do that in real life. Rule 303 is interesting. I don't even know what the Rule 303 is.
I think that's the caliber for the lay-in
What
feed.
if they added a shotgun that could shoot like some kind of like dragon's breath round?
Oh.
Like a shredder and stuff?
Yeah, something like that. Like there's like a little bit of like incendiary damage, you know? That would be crazy.
See, it's interesting because I had a conversation with Mass earlier today about, like, you know, with the new grenade launcher that's been added and the new shells, you know, that it's got stuff to do with like on contact, you know, it does the explosions on contact. So modding possibilities for like different types of shells, like incendiary, would probably be more easier, or explosive shotgun
like
shells or whatever.
flashbangs.
Yeah,
like a
exactly.
flashbang shell or something like that.
Oh mate, that would be sick.
Yeah, dude, that would be sick. Like you're just like about to raid a base, and you're like, "I'm coming in." You just launch a couple flashbangs over there, and then, you know, launch an incendiary in real quick, blow the door down, and then just barge in while everybody's blind and burning.
Just imagine going
grenades.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, no. Let's not commit any war crimes, okay?
Now hear me out. Hear me out.
No.
I know. I know a lot of people have been talking about having like the underbarrel grenade launcher come in, and there's been a lot of people discussing that, or even the developers were discussing that as well. But what about the idea of having a underbarrel skeleton key?
That actually would be
What's a skeleton key?
pretty.
It's
Okay, so like a
shotgun, isn't
skeleton
it?
key, like have you ever played let's see, like Rainbow Six Siege or ever heard or anything like that? Like, okay, so it's gonna be like an underbarrel attachment that like you could put, let's just say like you could put like a grenade launcher on the bottom of your gun, like in Call of Duty for an example. So like you can put a grenade launcher on the bottom of your gun, you can put a skeleton key that would fire like shotgun rounds and like different kinds of shotgun rounds.
Oh, okay.
It's
something like that.
essentially
So it's just a way to attach different attachments.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
it's essentially like an underbarrel shotgun, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically
yeah.
like two guns in one. So like you can switch to
cool.
the
Yeah.
underbarrel shotgun.
I still, and this might be slightly controversial, I still think that it's bullshit that they didn't add the grenade launchers due to them being overpowered. I think that's just dumb.
Wait, did you take them out?
They were never added, but they said...
Oh, he means the underbarrel. He means
Yeah.
the underbarrel grenade launcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry. They literally just put them in. I'm all like, wait, they took them out.
Sorry, I should have clarified.
We're not doing it.
I should have clarified. I apologize. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that they haven't added them in, because the foundations for them are there. They can do it. Is it going to be a case of being overpowered? No, I don't think so. Because you still have to swap between the two to do what you need to do. I just don't think that they've got the tech to actually swap between the animations for the relevant gun to that. I think that might be the reason. I think that's why.
I'm curious about their thought process for it, and I know you and Mila have spoken about this prior, but there was in the experimental patch. I'm not sure if you guys can check and correct me on this. When I looked inside the files, there actually was a test round that was made for the underbarrel grenade launcher that was not in any prior update.
I think
So they may have tested it out. Yeah, so they may have been testing it, So I'm just curious as to what their thought process was when they were testing and why they thought it would have been too overpowered. So
Yeah, I mean, if they explain further, and obviously, they don't have to, we're just fans of the game at the end of the day. But if they further expand on the reasons why they think it is overpowered to have the underbarrel grenade launchers, then I'd be like, okay, no problem at all. But they can't say it's overpowered while also including pox grenades and pox grenade rounds, because that shit is overpowered. You get a bunch of them, you can flush out a base instantly, kill them, and just raid without having to worry.
But the pox grenades are not technically part of the default economy. You have to spawn them in right now, right?
No, they're part of the default economy. Well, they should be, as far as I'm aware.
I believe the pox grenades, they only spawn on, I believe they only spawn the inventory of the gray zombies, so you can't get them normally.
Mm-hmm.
I may be incorrect about this, but I'm pretty sure that the way they have it set up for when it comes out to stable is that they're only going to spawn on the gray NBC zombies inside of the static contaminated zones.
Yeah.
So
it's
like how they dropped the pox antidotes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be easy to farm, unfortunately, and then they could do that. I get what Light's talking about. Now, did they say it was OP recently, or is this a long time standing?
Yes, this was with a forum post they put with 1.18, and they said they chose not to add the underbarrel grenade launcher just because it just seemed OP. If I can pull up the thread here.
Yeah, if you can, that'd be great.
I'll take that your word. Honestly, I agree with Light on this. I don't know why they're saying this, because they could have easily made the underbarrel shoot far less velocity, and it would have been more dangerous because of those factors. I mean, think about it. You could have made it so it only took certain explosives, maybe it only took the explosive grenade rounds, using that in a base literally death to yourself as well.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, what do you think, Ruth?
I mean, it does help with you got those guys that build the bases that make their walls 9 walls thick. You know what I'm saying? They got 10 walls thick. So I mean, a grenade launcher, definitely. But I mean, I don't know. I can see it on both ends because you got guys that take a lot of time on the base, and and that they're not toxic as shit. That they just spend their days building their base. Having fun. Building up, seeing how what they can come up with, and then they got somebody come along with a grenade launcher that can just boom get in their base within 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. So I mean, I could see how it would be, kind of disappointing to those kind of guys versus you do have somebody that has is a very toxic ass player.
Yes.
And they got a massive base build, and they're always taunting everybody, and then so I mean it helps both sides. So I mean, to me, I mean, I think it was a good addition for the grenade launcher to be in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the addition for so many different possibilities, including modding. I don't agree that they should have done pox related stuff. I think it was a bit of a gimmick, personally. They've took the toxic zone that they've done, and yes, sure, they're expanding on it, but I just don't think it's a good idea. They should have stuck with tear gas. Because if you get shot with the pox 40 mil, and say you're in an enclosed place, that's it. You were just fucked, right? And sure, you could say the same with the normal 40 mil high explosive, but there's a bit more skill with that. There's a bit more skill to actually accurately shoot with that, because obviously the arc, right? And there's only 2 ranges, 75 meter and 150. That's the only ones that it lets you swap between the two. Whereas with the pox stuff, you can just lob it, shoot the wall outside the building, and if you're sneaky enough and you're with a group, if you know somebody's in a building and you've locked all the doors, you go downstairs, you lock all the doors on the outside, and you just litter the house with the pox grenades and pox 40 mils. They're dead. They're dead. It's just ridiculous.
See, like
No.
when they first added the toxic zones, especially for console, like when they first added, like you know how like the missile would drop in, and then all of a sudden, like if you're in dead center of a town looting, and all of a sudden you hear this coming in, and you have like a matter of seconds to get out of there before the missile hits, and all of a sudden the gas is just everywhere. So when they first added that in, like, and I mean they eventually fixed it, but when they first added just that, like I would be in a town, and then all of a sudden like it would like
Get hit.
move me out of like yeah it would get hit, but when they first added it in there for console, I don't know if it did this on PC, but for console, if you were in a town and that missile dropped, it would like move you, like especially if you spawned in it. Like if you had just spawned in a town and there's about to be a missile drop there, it would spawn you in the town. You would start running, and then all of a sudden it would like move you like way out into the woods, close to the town, and then it would give you like this little warning message, and then it would just go away, and then you'd have to run right back to the town. By the time you get there, the missile hits, and then they would also like if you had integrate, like if you had got touched by the gas, and you know how like when you go in there, like it's got that some kind of like eerie noise that plays. Well, when it first came in, it would be like if you went in there with a full, you know, NPC gear, gas mask, filter, all that, and came back out, you were hearing that noise in there. But even after you're out of the gas zone and way away from that town and take all your NPC gear off and like you're not infected by it or anything, you're still hearing that noise. Like it would stay there until you died. It was so annoying.
I can imagine. Yeah, I mean, I know that if you log into a server and the town that you've logged into has been hit with toxic, it'll just move you out. But I've never heard it doing it while you were already logged in.
Yep.
So maybe
I've had that happen to me a couple times.
That's so weird. But
Maybe
you
a
said it was just
server delay.
console. It might be
Yeah,
server delay.
it could be server
Client
delay,
not communicating with the server fast enough, so the client's lagging a little bit behind, but the server's on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, I can't say I've experienced that issue. I didn't play much of the experimental when they first released the contaminated zones. But yeah, like you were saying, lad, it only ever happened like if you'd log out, then the bomb would strike and you log back in, then it would move you somewhere else, like one of those safe zones.
Yes.
But, yeah, that's weird if it happened while you were actually playing, because that must have been brutal.
It was.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Which I mean, it only happened twice, and then after that, like I didn't play it for like a week because the contaminated zones had like made me so aggravated. Because like every server I've had on, like you know, each town you run into, there's a contaminated zone, and so it's like, damn it, dude, I can't even leave for like 5 minutes without getting blown to shit, you know?
Nice.
Oh, bless you. Oh,
But speaking about the grenades, I think that the toxic grenades totally fit in with the theme DayZ's going for. However, they should balance them more. They should not seep through walls. I'm sorry. They should have to have limitations like that. If they had those kind of limitations, I think they'd be very well balanced. And I think that the grenades, honestly, should literally only last for like 30 seconds or something. It should be very little amount.
Yeah.
But like, I know somebody said something about the GV convention. You do know the world's dead, right? Like, whatever's left of the military government is trying to kill all the infected to go back to living life. They don't really care about no GV convention. I mean, that sounds sad and all, but it really is. I think, according to lore, and lore's been really up in the air, right? But like, it's like 1% of the population is immune to the virus. So like, a lot of the places they're artillery striking and a lot of the things that they're making to fight this, they're not really thinking people are out there in hordes surviving. It's more like a 1 or 2 survivors kind of situation.
Yeah. I would like to see what they do with the lore this year, you know, with the major update like they done last year. But I think we'll leave that topic for when that update does come. It does come around. But one thing I'm actually quite interested in, and I've not been able to experience it properly myself, but I know somebody who has, and it's Mark's. Mark's made a shorts video, which I will screen share for ourselves. If I can see my mouse, that would be great. My mouse disappears every now and again when streaming this stuff. There we go.
Backpacks, boots, it spawns some military gear. There is also a third train, which is the train wreck, that also spawns military gear.
Okay, there's some issues with this. It seems to be going black every time I try and preview it. So what I'll do is I will send you the link to it directly, Ruthless.
Alright.
And then I will stream it as per normal on the showcase. And then everybody will be able to see it. If I can see my mouse again. Oh, my mouse is actually completely gone now. What the hell? Okay, we got it back. We got it back. Jesus.
Along with DayZ Update 1.18, there were some new dynamic trains that were spawning across the map. I managed to run into 2 different types of trains. Apparently there is a third one as well that is a complete train wreck, but I haven't been able to find that as of yet. The first train that you see in the video here spawns more kind of base building items, storage, barrels, chests, that type of stuff, tools as well. The second one can spawn a lot of clothing, backpacks, boots, it spawns some military gear. There is also a third train, which is the train wreck, that also spawns military gear as well. Just be careful when going to these train wrecks, there is a lot of zombies around the area.
You got so quiet in here, I think I just heard a cricket fart.
So we're just watching the video. Watching the video. And that cricket fart, that was me chair, don't worry about it, it's just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, get wrecked, Max.
Along with
But yeah, I mean, I have not been able to see these train wrecks myself quite yet, but I think DayZ was overdue a new type of an event spawn, and I reckon the trains was a really good idea, because from what I have seen, is that some block some access to roadways, like you got the railroad crossings for like vehicles and whatnot. Some events block them off, so if you're driving the car and you try and go past it, it's like, oh shit, okay, well what do you do? And that would be a great point of where you can ambush somebody. I don't know exactly what spawns there, like especially like the really totaled ones, like the military ones. Maybe it's like one avenue for you to get the plastic explosives and like the new kind of features. Metro Generis, oh god. But I did see somebody who was I did see somebody say that they initially thought that it was Arkansas's was it Arkansas's hypertrain mod that he's been developing for like the past 4 years. That's never coming up. Was it Arkansas? I think it was. It's one of them. But oh my god. But yeah, I think it's a really cool addition. Like I said, it was about time that they'd done something like that. I know, Ruthless, you said that you haven't played 1.18, so obviously you've not seen it yourself. But what do you think of the idea?
I mean, I'm always into like new things, especially like coming from console. So it's like I like dreamed of new things coming in like all the time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, because I mean, like there comes a point where like you're playing it and you've been playing it for so long, and it's been the same thing for so long.
Oh yes.
That you, I mean, not necessarily like lose interest in the game, but like you lose that eagerness to jump into it. You know what I mean? It's like you load into it, you know what's coming. It's the same thing every day. It's just you may just be in a different spot. So when they put new things in like that, like it piques your interest back up to keep you, motivated to get on the game, eager to get on the game. Learn what's coming, and stuff like that. So I mean, like any new thing like that they could add into the game, I think is always going to be a positive. I mean, but like with the toxic zones, for an example, that was new. But after like 3 days, it became annoying as shit.
Yes,
and so like, fair. And so I mean, as long as it's like, they just gotta find like some kind of a balance with the new things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Dump was talking about, like with the grenades. So I mean, like, as long as they find some kind of like balance to where it's not gonna like, you know, push, the players away from it until they can either get rid of it or fix it, but rather than just, keep them in, just some kind of balance to where it's not like OP as shit.
Well, that's
So,
it. The need to definitely, like with anything new, the right, they do need to balance it, and I think that's, it's good that they give us the opportunity to play experimental for that. And
mm-hmm.
I know in the past when a update has been experimental for quite some time and then it hits stable, and then all of a sudden people start shitting on the new update like, oh, it's terrible, they should have done this, should have done that, and it's like, well, you should have played experimental and told them then, So it's like, I always encourage people to go on experimental to try it out at the very least, even if it's for like a couple of days or something like that, to get a hold of the new stuff. That way they can they can prepare as like, okay, do I need to change my playstyle or anything like that. Same with modders. Update days are very scary and painful, stressful. Yeah, it's like, so this year, we've had very consistent updates, very speedy ones. I mean, we talked about it, I think it was a couple of episodes back when 118 first came out experimental, and we were like, it's only been a month since 117 hit stable. What the hell's going on? And it's like, in the back of my mind, it's like, oh god, I hope none of my mods have broken. I hope when it Chinaris hasn't broken again, because it's still not fixed. So it's like, it's stressful, but it's good. It's overall fantastic for the game that they're still coming up with new ideas, and I still can't wait to see what they do with Livonia, and I still can't wait to see what they do with a major update this year. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
I think it's going to be really good. Experimental though.
What?
One of the feedback trackers for experimental launcher, the DayZ experimental launcher, now will have native support for workshop mods directly linked to your workshop. You won't have to do anything to do it. It'll be coming in an update soon to experimental, but it's going to be there soon, guys. If you're a modder, you will know how frustrating it is to set up an experimental server to test out mods.
Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so it won't impact... I don't think it would really impact yourself too much, Ruthless, but right now I am in bliss.
Right.
Because to test any kind of like mods in like an offline client kind of thing, which you shouldn't generally do, but sometimes fuck it, you have to faff on with the launcher to get the mod all loaded in that, especially mods you've already subscribed to, and it's just an absolute piss take. It's just a massive faff on. So
see, I actually tried to run a couple servers on console myself. Like, I gave it a whirl, and so I mean, like, I didn't really get into the mod portion of it, but I mean, just the simple coding was a pain in the ass. Because like, okay, so like I would get used to it, and then all of a sudden an update comes, and so I'm like just trying to figure out how to get the new stuff in.
Yes.
With all the coding you already have, and trying to do that, and at this point in time, I didn't have a computer, so like I was doing it all on the Xbox. Like I would get on the the Microsoft Edge or whatever, load that up, and then load up.
Poor thing.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, it was such a pain in the ass, especially to integrate all the new things from the updates into the server without accidentally messing up and deleting your entire coding that you've been working on.
Yeah. I can't imagine that on Xbox. I give people all the credit that work on that stuff on PC, because XMLs are a bitch.
Yeah, and you can't like save your XMLs to the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no folder you can open up. Like, so like you have to like do that from a phone, like download it. If you don't have a computer, like I had to like download my XMLs to a phone, and then re-upload them, and dude.
That's it.
Ugh.
That's it.
Yeah, it was rough.
I can imagine. I just want to quickly address Jack Pickering's question. Do you think Bohemia could ever do Season Pass where they actually give you DLC for your yearly subscription, i.e. the best mods, they just buy them to implement on vanilla? This is speaking as a console DayZ player. The day that Bohemia add like a Season Pass to DayZ is the day I stop playing the game. I will go cold turkey. DayZ is not a game for that.
After the hate that Livonia got with their DLC system, Yeah.
Well, that's it. That was it. Yeah,
I think,
it's
I think it's important to note that like the DayZ community would shut down, DayZ would die.
it's
Yeah.
DayZ. DayZ's not that kind of game where you got with like, well, with like Call of Duty or Fallout 76 and any other kind of game that has a season pass. DayZ's not suited for it. It's not built that way. It's even for content. No. I don't think personally. I don't think season passes fit DayZ, and I don't think they should ever be introduced. I don't think Bohemia has any plans. Their monetization right now for DayZ is actually pretty. It's simple. The sales that they do every single update is great. I would love them to do more merch, something on the outside of the game. That'd be great. And if they ever do another DLC for console and PC, it has to be something that's actually worth the money. Because I mean, I know Ruthless, you like Livonia, but I think it's a terrible map.
To be honest, though, as much as I did like Livonia, when I switched to PC, like I still have the option to buy Livonia. Like, okay, so when I bought DayZ for the PC, it gives you, DayZ, and then it gives you the version that comes with Livonia.
Yes.
I just bought the regular version because like I have like so many more maps to learn and play on that I still haven't even bought the Livonia DLC. As much as I love Livonia, I still haven't even I haven't even thought about Livonia since I've been on PC. I mean, it's just like you got Banov, you got Yiprit, you got Essiker, Deral, all these other maps. And so it's like I haven't even thought about Livonia,
Well,
Well, that's it.
honestly, one of the reasons why Livonia as a DLC failed so bad was because of BI's wording on their 2 DLCs they were promising us way back then. One was supposed to be free, and then one was supposed to be paid. Well, they ended up giving us the free one was the Battle Royale, which we didn't know was coming, which we now no longer see at all. And that's why a lot of people got upset because we felt like we were tricked into believing that we were getting a free DLC when we really weren't.
Yeah.
I remember that. A lot of people were upset.
Yeah, so they tried it, it didn't work out too well. So
Link white t-shirt, $30.
That's it, hell yes. But no,
I would like to bring something up though, for Jack's point here, because he did go on further, and he said he thinks watching some of the PC servers and seeing like the key cards and the King of the Hill events and stuff, and what he was referring to is like a market where so he was thinking of like a market where DayZ would actually get these mods and have user submissions and put it up on a market. But to follow up with that, I think what would be a lot more appropriate is if we saw the Infusion Workshop integration make its way to DayZ. Because instead of making a whole market, because I get what Jack was saying, because you can't have modding on Xbox due to, of course, limitations, and especially on Sony. So turning it into a DLC platform so that you can get like the keycard mods and stuff and be able to get around the issues with modding. I think that's what he was more so trying to get to.
Right.
But if they were to bring something out like the workshop, or not exactly like that, but something similar, I think that could solve a lot of the issues Jack was talking about.
Or
even on console specifically too,
I would actually love to touch on this topic more in detail, so I think we should return to this in a future episode and we'll actually cover it a little bit more.
Okay.
I think it'll be a good idea for a really good discussion to get like more information, more in depth, like what works, what doesn't work, and then that way we can be able to give like maybe more of an informed opinion.
Getting both sides of the story, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be really cool.
And we can huddle up and team up against them.
Fuck you.
It would be really crazy if they added. Okay, so like how you obviously have weather in DayZ, and it's different from PC to console. But like as like let's say for instance like how they added in the toxic zones and all that. What if like with weather, like if they somehow tied in like a way with, okay, so like you got like seasonal things, like you know, you got like summertime and then wintertime and then fall or whatever.
Yeah.
If they added in like, you know, how like, because sometimes it'll be, you know, it'll come a thunderstorm. So like, what if they integrated a way in like whenever it's thundering and lightning and, you know, raining in the server you're playing on, if just randomly, and it could be anywhere on the map, like some kind of like tornado just comes in, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you have to like, you know, not necessarily like some massive ass tornado, but like, you know, something along the lines of that, like to where it could do some kind of damage, but not like, you know, rip, you know, base walls off or, you know, mow them down or whatever, but like something that would be, you know, a little intense. That would be pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
We've had
Be
this talk
honest.
before, Dumpgrah.
What?
I said we've had this talk before. Tornadoes in DayZ.
Oh, yeah. You mean where I get to
Yeah.
sit back and sip my tea while I watch someone's base get torn apart? Because I do for
Yeah.
that every day. Just like, you're like, we ain't Kansas anymore.
You just see cows flying around the tornado, cars and shit.
Oh hell yes! You know what? I wasn't convinced before, but now I am. Let's get that added.
Yeah.
Oh lordy lord!
Or even
But,
like DayZ having the chat having like lightning strikes. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because you always see
that
them in
would
the
be
distance. And actually having ones that could affect you or affect the surroundings. You know, like maybe kill any of the infected or players in like a certain radius of it. I feel
Yes.
that'd be pretty cool.
I think that would be pretty interesting.
Like something that wouldn't happen like, you know, often, but like could happen every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
not something that would like dramatically change the game, but like something that could happen, you know, every once in a while. Like you're just out looting, running through the woods or whatever, you know, the storm hits, you're trying to get to inside a house before the, you know, your clothes get wet, and all of a sudden it starts lightning. And there's a chance that you could get struck by lightning, but there's
Mhm.
a chance that you might not get struck by lightning. But you know
Yeah.
it's there, so like you're trying to haul ass to cover.
Yeah.
So that would be pretty intense.
To wear a field transceiver, you're 50% more likely to get struck.
Yeah.
Oh hell yes! That'd be quite shocking.
Play on words there.
But Danny Doom said, "Lad, what do you think about it if DayZ added natural base decay so players have to repair walls over time? They already have that. What are you on about? They already have
Yeah.
that. That's been a feature since base building. Well, even before then. So
It does
Just-
last a long time though. Like
Like what,
if you
45
actually
days?
look at the yeah.
Yeah.
So what would your thoughts be if they shortened that? Because a lot of
I think
people
they
when they're
should.
playing on those type of servers, they don't
Mhm.
play on the long term. And I think that like a lot of people just don't notice that that's a thing because they don't have a base up for that long.
yeah, no, I
So-
reckon.
Server's choice.
I
Yeah, that's
I
true. That's true.
I think it should be up the server's choice, but I think as a vanilla, I think they should
14
reduce
days.
it to 28 days.
28? Okay. I'm 14 every 2 weeks.
I think a
If you
month.
can't play on a server for 2 weeks, then you're not really playing the server.
I think it's vanilla, but we'll agree to disagree in like times. But I think it definitely should be reduced from 45 because it's way too long. Especially for like server performance because it's, you know, for whatever else reason. But it's But yeah, no, base decay has been in for a long time. I'm not too sure if you mean like where it's like it eventually go from pristine to then worn to then damaged and badly damaged. Maybe that's what you mean. I'm not too sure, but no, it's definitely a feature. Right, that is what you mean. Right, okay, then they should add that. So yes, I think that would be an interesting thing if it like instead of just flat out despawning, then it does actually go from like worn to damaged to badly damaged, and then
Like the wood starts rotting or the metal starts rusting on it. Like that'd be pretty cool.
that would actually be a nice touch. That would actually be a really, really nice touch. You should have emphasized a little bit more there, but yeah, I think that would be a really cool idea. But someone get on the feedback tracker and add it. Be like, oh, mate, do this, please. But and I'll quickly answer this question before we go on to our final topic, because there are a couple of, you know, want to make sure we can get this through. Do you think the 118 update will mean a new base building update is to come? Yes. Yes. Like
100%.
They cannot add all these explosive stuff and then not do anything with base building. They confirmed it at the start of the year with one of Mark's posts that there's going to be a base building update this year. So I reckon that'll either be the major update or the final minor. Pardon me. But yeah, so okay, this is the last one. Did the 116 teaser map confirm Utes Island? If you look on the bottom right, there's a circle marked exactly where Utes is planned. No, I don't think they're going to be working on anything like that. Utes is a completely separate thing. And in fact, now, if you go on the workshop, you can download Utes, and it's more of a test bed for modders, essentially. That's all that is right now. It's a shit map.
It's like
nothing.
5 kilometers.
It's not
in
even
circumference or something.
So yeah, it's just no point in it. Great for
So
like.
I know this is like off topic and random, but like, okay, so you know how like we have animals in DayZ, right? But there's only like a handful of predators. You know, like you got wolves, you got bears.
Yes.
That's pretty much it. Has anybody ever wondered what it would be like if they added like snakes to DayZ? Like if you're running through the tall grass and like there's a chance you can get bit by like a rattlesnake and like they add like some kind of anti-venom or something to the game.
Would snakes
I
be
feel
able to
that'd be
survive
cool,
in
but
such a cold area?
I
yeah,
mean,
exactly. Would that be something that you'd see really in a Russia or Soviet like environment? You know, they would have to
right.
release
I
a
mean,
map that was based in some sort of hot climate,
yeah,
but to like
but
work properly. You know,
yeah, but that would be pretty. I mean, realistic. I mean, to be honest, because I mean, if you're in a climate that is warm like that and there wasn't no snakes, that would be kind of weird. But like, okay, so has anybody ever played what is it? Green Hill?
Yeah.
No. Oh no, Green Hell. Yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah,
I hear
Green
that.
Green Hill. Okay, so like when I first played that game, like I had no clue that there was gonna be snakes in this game, and like I've got bit by a snake like so many damn times and died just because I couldn't find the tobacco leaf to create some kind of antivenom. But like just to have that, I mean, initial like other than fearing a player shooting at you, there needs to be. I feel like there should be like at least a couple more things in there that would like add that fear in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like that thrill. Some kind of like maybe some kind of new predator that can attack you other besides a bear or wolf. Something along the lines like that.
Yeah.
Best predator in the game's the chicken.
Oh, I hate chickens. They piss
You ever
me off
chase one
so
of those
bad.
into a
Like
horde
I've
of
gotten
infected?
killed so many times just by like a chicken, like giving away my position because I'll be trying to punch it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm froze again. No.
Oh no. He's frozen.
Is he?
This was what's weird is okay. There it goes. My ping is
Are you back?
wow.
It's the chicken.
It's the chicken.
it's the chicken.
It's
Come
the,
on.
the great
Getting
hen
revenge on you.
is angry with you.
I'm not kidding. He's totally right. When those things go off and there's a horde of infected near you, you literally have to run as a Bambi. Even
Yeah.
as a gear player, you still have to run.
You do. You absolutely do. Yeah. Just wait for Ruthless to get back before we continue on. Well, say get back when he recovers.
Come on.
Oh, bless him.
There we go.
Right.
Welcome back.
Are you good?
Jeez, yeah, I'm good.
See, it's so funny because like on your end we're frozen, but we can see and hear you perfectly fine.
yeah, I can, but like I don't know why it keeps doing that either. Like I'm the only one connected to the internet, so I don't know. Maybe it's weird.
Like we were saying, it's the chicken. It's the chicken that's messing you up.
It's the damn
Evil
chicken.
chickens.
Yeah, I've actually gotten killed quite a few times on account of a chicken. I'll be sitting there looking at somebody like they have no clue I'm there, and all of a sudden like I'll startle a chicken and sort of like run off clucking, and then they instantly know somebody's around, so I'm like trying to punch the chicken to get it, to shut up. Shut the fuck up!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, bless, that'd be so hilarious. But to the snake idea, I would have to think a bit more about it before I could actually weigh in on something like that. I just don't have enough information because what DayZ does, and obviously everyone here will know, is that they do quite a lot of stuff that's more authentic to the region. and I'm not too sure if snakes is more something like to that area,
maybe
to
not
that
even
region.
necessarily a snake, but like just some kind of new predator. You know what I mean? Because like there's only two out there as far as I know. There's only two besides like anything that's modded into the game.
Mhm.
So I mean,
I think there should be feral dogs
yeah.
in like the towns.
Agreed.
In the towns only. I think that would be really, really cool.
Mhm.
That's something I've always wanted to see. I know somebody said DayZ spiders, and I know exactly what mod you're talking about. And that mod can piss off because that's terrifying. Massive spiders running at you through the woods.
Oh, dude, I played on a server called Hard Home Milk Cart, and they
Right.
had spiders in there, and I wasn't even paying attention to the mod downloads. I was just so eager to get into a new map.
Mhm.
And I'm running around. I have nothing on me, and I'm in the middle of the woods. And there's these two giant ass spiders that just like I hear something go like run right past me. And I look, and there's nothing there. And then so I just turn back around and go running through the woods. And all of a sudden, like this big ass spider gets right in front of me, like jumps at me, and I'm like, shit! And I'm like almost come out of my chair and everything. I'm like, holy shit!
The only thing to inspire fear in DayZ players since the game ever came out, spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh bless. But one more thing I do want to cover though, and I think it's really, really important that we do cover this. And it was the new community spotlight, and it actually came out today. Have you seen the spotlight yet, Ruthless? Do you keep up with them at all?
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, right. Okay, no problem at all. So it's quite a decent one. I will share the screen. Or would you prefer if you have the webpage so you can look through yourself?
You can share it if you want.
Yeah, no problem at all. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. It's been weird. I'll just share the whole screen itself, and then that way it won't be a pain. Shouldn't be a pain.
Makes sense.
Right. There we go. I think. No. No, it won't. It won't do it on the stream. It'll still say your stream is still running. That's fine. Oh dear. We'll just. God, I'm not good at this. I'll just for the because I just want to make sure that our viewers can watch it. So I'll just send you the spotlight so you can go through yourself. Okay. So I want to make sure that everybody can see this. That's all. So yeah, so the community spotlight just came out today, which I was quite surprised. I wasn't expecting it to come out today, and it was quite a decent one. So I'll just read it through, especially for our audio-only viewers. Dear survivors, May was an exhilarating month for the community and the DayZ team. That's because we released 1.18 experimental update, which is packed with tons of fun. From adding new explosive items to unlocking hundreds of static objects for server owners to customize their servers, Update 1.18 launches DayZ into new and greater heights. The update is currently in experimental phase on Xbox and Steam, so make sure to give it a try, and let us know what you think. Now, Lemons, you actually spoke to Sumrak about the static, didn't you?
Yeah. So I spoke to him a bit about that because, as a lot of people know, that we're doing stuff in the console community, like for experimental, a lot of the assets were missing.
Yes.
And I know there was a lot of people talking about it, thinking like it was like a texture issue or something about the models, but it was just a syntax or a few syntax errors within the config files.
Right.
Now, what I did is I went through and I fixed a lot of that stuff to send off so they could review that and run differential so they can compare the two. So hopefully for anyone who's still waiting, next experimental patch, that should be fixed. Fingers crossed. But one important and interesting thing that Sumrak had said to me is they chose specifically not to do rocks and foliage for this update, like as a static object. And what he said was they actually want to try and do some performance optimizations, which is very interesting because he didn't go too in depth regarding what they were going to do with these performance optimizations. But it is very interesting nonetheless that they would hold off by releasing some of this content to attempt that stuff. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's
What do
quite
you guys think
interesting.
about
Though. I can see it. Yeah, I think they take the time for the statics and they make sure that the stuff they add actually is good performance wise. That'll benefit a lot because the last thing you'd want to do is you'd spend like loads of time with the new static items you put in the rocks and you put in the flora in and everything like that, and then it turns out it's going to run like terrible on your server or your PC because it's unoptimized. Then that's not going to bode well on you, really, is it? So I think that's good. I think it's good that they're taking the time, and I can't believe they messed up with a couple of syntax errors, and then they got you to be like, well, you decided to just fix it yourself, like Thanos, like.
Oh yeah, well I was
I'll do
getting
it
sick and
myself."
tired because every experimental patch they put up, I just they would always fix a few, but then there would be like X, Y, and Z that this entire line was just not finished yet. And nothing against them, like nothing against them because they do have a lot of other stuff they have to address as well.
Yeah,
But it just got to the point where I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just try and take a bit of stress off their shoulders. And I just went through and I just took every single one, knocked them out, and they were good to go. So
yeah.
Very nice.
Can one of you guys quickly confirm if the stream is frozen?
it looks
Not
good for
frozen
me.
for me.
Yeah, no, it's not frozen for me either.
No, it's not present for me either.
Okay.
Finally.
Fine.
Looks like
Yeah.
the cameras are.
Okay, that was strange. Must have just been something weird there. Okay, so just going to continue here. On the community side of things, we received a
DOJ said good
plethora.
now.
Ah, cool. On the community side of things, we received a plethora of exciting new content, including new maps for the PC, customizations to new servers, and a whole lot more. So enough of this chit chat. Let's dive right in. 118 in the eyes of the community, and we won't go through every single word in here. We'll just we'll just go through it. All right, I can't say the bloody word. If you 118 in the eyes of community content creators. If you're still out of the loop regarding experimental update 118, this is a great summary by Warbo. Should you feel compelled to peruse, that's the word I was looking for. Peruse of reports here of our favourites. Care of Marks, Rav Players, and Nitno. All of them are absolutely great, really, really great. If you haven't checked out their channels, then you really should. If you haven't checked out Marks, then why? He was one of us. How could you? But bravo to all of you for being instrumental in keeping the community informed, which I thought was really, really nice that they shout out, especially Marks, one of our own, so that's really cool. I've not seen this. When Men Becomes Prey by Cam Can't Run. The short film is one of the reasons why DayZ's motto is "This is your story." Cam delivers exactly that by using DayZ's visuals to tell a story of a survivor in a lovelorn wasteland. The film is beautifully shot, written, and voice acted. Congratulations on creating such a wonderful piece of work. We hope Sarah finds you well. It's a 4-minute video. I'm going to link it in the chat if anybody is interested in watching that. And I will also DM it to you as well, Ruthless, if you are interested in watching that as well.
Alright.
Lemons and Dump, you can... No, but Cam is really, really cool content creator. Have you watched Cam Con Run before, Ruthless?
I don't think I have.
You should definitely give him a watch. He's just full of positivity. He's like always happy no matter what, and his content is really, really cool. I really like it.
Right.
Definitely give him a watch. Yprit, which we mentioned before, actually. This monster of a map by Old Nag has been in its alpha phase since last month. Shout out to Marks for bringing it to our attention. Mark's been an absolute powerhouse in this community spotlight, that's for sure. The ultimate shout out, however, goes to Siphon on TV and the team at Fractal Gaming for hosting awesome servers with this map. Make sure to check out their Discord if you find the map to your liking. Now, I've not actually seen this trailer yet.
Is it the Yprit trailer?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, I actually watched that one. It's pretty good.
I haven't actually played on Yprit yet.
It's pretty nice.
I really should. I've been a stickler for stuff like that, and I need to actually like get on top of modded maps. It's been so long since I've played on one. 20 kilometers by 20. Okay. That's all I'm going to watch the first 30 minutes. I'm going to also link that in the chat if anybody's interested. One day, Boydie, we'll get there. One day we'll get there. Altera, Alteria, I think that's how you pronounce it, by John McClane. So I don't know anything about this, so I'm going to look into this a little bit further, but I think it's really cool that he's actually developing a new map. I don't know if it's going to be like his new project after Deer Isle, or if it's in conjunction. But do you guys know anything about it?
I don't.
Right.
From what I've seen, I'm pretty sure it's a new map, like a completely new thing. I don't think it has any affiliation to Deer Island, but I could be completely wrong. But from what I've seen at least, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be like a new project.
Right. Okay, no problem at all. I'll have to take a look at it. From Hell They Came, a PC's if you're a PC survivor and into hardcore PvE gameplay, then we totally recommend the From Hell They Came servers. Check out their trailers and make sure you're hooked. Okay, I'm going to stop it there because I immediately want to watch this trailer in my own time because that opening shot already has me intrigued. So, again, I'm going to link this URL to the chat if anybody is interested. It's on the workshop now for offline mode. Right, okay. I'll definitely take a look at it then. And then... for creators, if you're a content creator looking for someone to make eye-catching thumbnails, then look no further than Playguy. His portfolio is impressive to say the least. I've not heard of this guy before, actually. I think I'll have to take a look at his work, because I used to do like artwork. I used to do like edited screenshots, and they were always really fun to do, but I haven't done that in a while. But I'll have to take a look at that. Some love for newbies, 200 plus tips and tricks from Always Streams. Here's a great and up-to-date list of DayZ tips and tricks from Always Streams that could prove helpful to new and returning players alike. There's just so much. There's so much stuff, and fill the bubble. I always like these. But
Oh my god! Wait,
what?
Chicken.
Free chicken.
Do you see the chicken at the very beginning? They talk about the chicken.
Sign.
It's a sign. Oh my god. But there's all. I've always really liked the community spotlights, and there was a Friday. I can't believe I missed the Friday the 13th post for May even. Jesus Christ. But these are some pretty good ones, not gonna lie. But and then Wellerton, it's been a while since I've seen any of his stuff in the community spotlight, so I'm happy his stuff's back in. Absolutely fantastic. He actually moved to doing armor stuff for a little while. Oh, that shot though. Oh, that's Asuka, that I think. Looks it, not too sure. Oh, that's nice. But yeah, and then there's the wallpaper of the month. But there's just so many really cool, interesting stuff in the community every single month. One day we'll get on there. One day we will. But We'll just have to wait and see. But I've like I said, I've always really enjoyed the Spotlight, and I look forward to it every single month. And I was so happy when they started doing them again. I was so happy. Because there wasn't there like a period of time, I believe, where they just stopped doing it. I'm pretty sure.
A long time.
Yeah. So I think it was right that they brought that back. But yeah, I think we are. Let me just double check. We've actually gone over. We've actually gone over time compared to what we usually try and aim for. We've had such really cool conversations, Ruthless. It's been absolutely fantastic having you on after you waiting for so long to finally get in. And I do apologize about that. But
no worries, bro. I mean, I understand, but like I have patience, and like this is like my first time ever doing anything like this. Like, I've never been on a podcast, nothing like this, and so like when I first started listening to this podcast, like I was, listening to, you guys talk to all these, streamers and content creators, and even a few, other people. I was like, man, I wonder how do you get on this podcast? Like, I want to be on this podcast just to be able to talk to these guys. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I found the Discord and reached out, to you and Boydie. And, we got set up for February 28th. And then, something happened. Something happened. But I mean, I didn't get mad about it. Like, I wasn't upset, I mean, shit happens. So, I mean, all I did was just, be patient and reach out, and now here we are.
And that's it, and I'm so happy you did reach out. I really, really am. You've been absolutely wonderful to talk to get to,
Appreciate it, man.
to know your insight, especially somebody who used to be on console. Now you're really fresh into PC. I always love hearing, like, your thoughts, your perspective, and just everything about it. So, again, you've been absolutely lovely. Thank you very much for coming on the show today.
No problem, man. Thank you, guys.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Do not be a stranger. Anytime you want to pop in and you want to talk, feel free. More than happy to have you.
Oh yeah. I definitely want to do this again, man. For sure.
Hell yes.
No doubt.
Especially, if your channel's the takeoff more, I would love to get an update on how it's all going for you, and since you get more embedded into the PC community, it'll be really nice to get an update on that. Yeah.
Like a little update podcast.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it'd be good to have it, right?
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Now,
I'll be down.
Since you're a regular viewer, we always do the end of show spotlights. So what's your spotlight?
My spotlight?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Let's see. My spotlight for this podcast. I think my most favorite part about this one was, me being able, like, to express, like, my side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But like the reaction I got from you guys, like, when I was telling y'all the story about, my whole bass thing with my brother-in-law and all that, I think that was like my big moment for this, because like, like I love being able to share that stuff, and like people that don't like play DayZ or like games in general, like you're so excited to just talk about it, and it's like you talk about it to like somebody that has no clue what the hell you're talking about. And then so they don't get the reaction that you expect or would want. And so to get your guys' reaction on like like everything that I was able to to tell you guys on my end was awesome. It was worth it. Definitely worth it.
Mate, it was a fantastic story, to be honest. It was great.
It was an amazing story. But if I had told my wife that story, she'd be like, so.
Just
yep.
It was like that when my colleagues at work they noticed my phone case.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I
need to get one of those.
I made the original image and got it custom made. And my colleagues were like, "Oh, what's that phone case?" And I had to explain to them about DayZ, and they were just like, "What?" So I was just like, you know what, it's just a game I play, don't worry about it. So I was like, oh, right, okay, no problem. But yeah, it is always nice to be able to actually just sit down and talk about your experiences, because it's like everybody's in the same boat. Everybody knows what that feels like, and it's just so nice. And I really do appreciate you sharing stuff like that with us. I love hearing about it personally. I really love it. I wish I had stories like that, but I mod more than play, and all of my like great stories are from when I used to play in like DayZ RP in the alpha. So it's like that was a young lad. That was like 5 years ago now.
Well, hopefully I can get this because like I said, I do want to start a YouTube. So hopefully I can get this figured out, and then like once I learn it, I can start uploading some content. And you guys can watch it.
Hell
Like
yeah!
if I can get those moments, that would be badass. To be able to get those moments and like put it into a video, that would be intense. Because my brother-in-law, he wants to do the same thing. He's working on his own YouTube channel, and we both play DayZ together. So like a lot of the videos will be with me and him both. And so like I mean he's trying his thing with Twitch, but he's aiming more towards being a YouTuber. So
yeah,
very nice.
And so I mean you'll probably definitely see some content coming from, and he'll most likely be in it.
And so. Mate, I can't wait. I absolutely cannot wait.
Awesome. Yeah.
Dump, what about yourself? What's your spotlight?
I'm not sure.
I've already thought of one for you, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. You know what? My spotlight's gonna be on my friend Mass's server, Spearhead. Now, I got a chance to sneak on it the other day and play a little bit, and I actually enjoyed myself, and it was a lot of fun because there was a lot of things I wasn't expecting that was happening, and it was not necessarily my playstyle of a server, but the fact that I was able to enjoy it, even though I normally would never play that kind of a server, was a lot of fun. And if you guys ever want to check it out, it's really Spearhead. What's the full name of it, lad? I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Let me just quickly double check. So if you're trying to find the server on DayZ, it is Massive Spearhead 2.0 vanilla inspired HC experience. Mass is very active in development. In fact, he is obviously the lead developer for that server. So many cool things coming in the pipeline. So yes, definitely check it out. What about yourself, Lemons? I haven't really heard much from you this week, so I'm really excited to see what you've got going.
So one person I want to shout out is a Redditor by the name of Hey Barbie, and I'll send you off the video because usually when I play stuff, the audio doesn't come through.
Yes,
but
that's very true.
It was just a very, very funny moment on console. And I know a lot of funny moments usually do come from console.
Yes, that's very true.
But
okay,
it was just, when I first watched it, it was just, I don't know, it just really clicked with me. I found it was just, the entire thing was hilarious. So
okay, no problem at all. Let's watch this then.
Oh, this car is like sliding around.
Oh, that quality though, beautiful.
Oh my god. No way.
Let's start that from the beginning because the quality just absolutely dropped in the middle of that.
Oh, this car is like sliding around.
It still dropped, right? Okay, nope, it's just not gonna work. Right, that is so fucking annoying.
Oh Jesus. Oh my
Maybe we can see
god.
slow motion now.
yeah, there you go.
No way.
Point being, the guy zigged when he should have zagged, and
Shut up.
bad things happen. Bad things happen when that happens.
Oh, he's up.
Oh, he's
He's up.
oh dear.
He's up.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh my god, there's so many of them. They're all dead, they're all dead.
They're both
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Damn.
Holy shit, that was
Wow.
Holy shit.
I just saw your red shirt and I thought, that's Ali, I won't shoot him. Yeah, this time.
Oh, that was brilliant. That was actually really fun. That was fun to watch.
Alright, so for I do have one shout out though.
Okay,
Like,
go
there-
for it.
I've been watching. Well, I mean, he's a kid, but I mean, he's probably at least like maybe 16, 17. But
Mhm.
I came across him on Twitch, and he was playing on day one the mosque, and I can't remember which one it was, but he was playing on day one the mosque, and like I always watch Lax's streams whenever he pops up, and so at first I was watching Lax's stream, and then he was playing with his kid. Well, then I had left Lax's stream, was just scrolling through see who else was streaming, and I came across this kid named Yummy Taco.
Yummy Taco, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I click on his stream and instantly notice that he's the one streaming, like playing with Lax,
Oh
and
shit!
has no idea who he's playing with. Has completely clueless that he is streaming and he's playing with Lax Hawthorne. And he only had like maybe 3 viewers at the time, and
Oh, bless.
maybe he had just hit like 80 followers. And so I watched his stream for a little bit just to see if he knows who he's playing with. Like I didn't say nothing about who he's
Mhm.
playing with to begin with. Well, he didn't. Like he was completely clueless that he was playing with Lax. And so like I was bouncing back and forth between both the streams to hear what Lax was planning on doing, because Lax is unpredictable.
He
Like
is.
he'll either run with you or like he'll plot to like kill you for some crazy reason. And so like I'm bouncing back between both streams, and then so I finally get just tell Taco and be like, hey, you're playing with Lax Hawthorne, right? And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're playing with Lax Hawthorne. He's like, wow, I did not notice that, but thank you for telling me. And then so like his stream continues, and then so since that stream, he kind of shot up just based off of him playing with Lax Hawthorne. So like he went from 80 followers to I think he's like now at like 300,
Wow.
and he hit affiliate, and at that point in time had only been streaming for like 3 weeks, and so like he went from 80 followers to like over 300, and is now at affiliate and averages almost like 25 viewers a stream
Wow.
within a month period of time. So I just want to give him a shout out because he's cool as
Uh,
shit. Because I
Have you
actually
got
got to
any
stream with him the
links?
other day.
Have you got any links for him?
Yeah, I can probably. Yeah, I'll send you his Twitch real quick.
Please do. Yes, we'll put it in the chat here. So if anybody wants to check out, what was it? What was the name again? Sorry.
It's a yummy taco.
Yummy Taco. Yeah. If anybody wants to.
He's actually live right now.
Oh shit!
Yum Taco
On Twitch.
on Twitch.
Right. Okay. Oh, I wish we could forward the views onto him, but if once the podcast is finished for tonight, everyone, if you want to check out his channel,
Yeah, and it's Yum
Absolutely.
Taco, so it's YUM and then taco. So
yeah, and absolutely go for it. Absolutely go for it. Now, my spotlight is actually so. After the episode last week, I actually had Danny in chat reach out to me about a server he was running. So I just thought, you know what, talk to him about it, talk to him, see what it's like, and I actually gave it a shot. And it was a bit different to what I usually do. Usually, I play on Spearhead. Don't you talked about it before. I develop and play on Spearhead, but I thought, I want to change pace a little bit. I want to change what I do. So I gave the server a go, and it's the Revenant, and he's took over. It's completely like his server now, as far as I'm aware, and I really, really enjoyed it. Completely. So I've got a little bio here, a little bit. So he has developed his own kind of like, I guess you can say it's in my opinion comparable to like the airdrop mode, but it's like a care package, and he's done it in a quite a unique way. I haven't been able to find them out yet, but I certainly will at some point. Got their own Discord, and they got their own website. I believe the website was actually created by the players of the server. They really enjoyed the server that much. They were like, look, let's get a website up. Let's make it for them. Go on from there. And people on the servers have been really, really nice. I thought it might have been a toxic server, but no. It is really, really nice. People there are lovely to play with. The loot is done really, really nicely. And Danny is actually really good to open feedback. I gave him some feedback about certain things as well, and he's took it on board, and I believe he's going to be implementing them. And that's the one thing I really like. They changed the stamina system, so it's unlimited to a certain point, quite similar to XDK. And they also have a way so if you actually rest, you get a tiny little buff. You actually get a buff, which is actually quite interesting. I quite like that. They've done some stuff for base building. They've got the usual gun mods like Snafu, Tactical Flower, stuff like that, Rev guns, custom armor, stuff like that. Treasure mod, which is really, really cool. You can find photos around the map. I believe we've messed around with that mod way, way long ago, probably about 2020 for New Dawn. We tried to do something like that.
Pictures, like you have pictures
Yes.
and you have to go find it. Yeah.
And yeah, so I would absolutely recommend you check it out. I'm going to get the link for the Discord here in a second, as well as the website. So that is the link for the Discord, and there is the link for the website. Again, the Revenant DayZ, I would highly recommend you guys give it a shot, give it a shot, I should say. Both Spearhead and the Revenant, really good servers, and, you know, play and give some feedback. That's all I can basically recommend, and the only way a server can grow is if you play and give feedback.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So,
Great.
and with that, I don't believe I have any mod spotlights, but I do want to mention before we go, because Dump, how could I not? You told me that your building fortifications mod is now the 6th most popular mod on the workshop, and I was like, I was like, okay, let's have a look at this. So, you know, I took a look myself, and I was like, right, okay. And sure enough, you go into the workshop. Yeah, you go to see all. You go to sort by most popular all time. And there it is. You got Normal Survival, Ireland, Essica, CF, Deer Isle, and Building Fortifications. Mate, I am so fucking proud of you. I genuinely am. Well fucking
Thank
done.
you.
And keep building up the mod. Keep building it up, make it even better. And
yeah, I'm
you'll
so
get to
impressed
number
by
one.
it. I don't know why people love it to death. I don't really know why it's so popular.
It's a good fucking mod, and people have been wanting this feature for ages. So, just for context, Ruthless, do you know what the Building Fortifications mod is? I think he's actually totally gone.
I think he did freeze this time.
I think he's actually frozen,
What?
stuck in time.
I can see you guys and hear you guys.
there-
but y'all
there
can't
we
see
go.
me now.
There we go. There we go. There we
There
go.
Yeah, that time I could see you guys moving around, but y'all couldn't see me moving around. Aha, the tables have turned.
The Uno switcheroo. But so so you heard everything, yes?
Yeah, I heard what you.
Right,
I heard
okay,
the building fortifications mod.
So do you know anything about it?
I do not. No.
Right. So, Dump, do you want to explain what it is to Ruthless before we finish off?
Yeah, it's a mod that's designed to make it so you can take over static buildings with building items, as well as in the future actually like create your own traps and fortifications. But you can build window barricades right now, and a door barricade and a medium window barricade too.
Oh shit!
And it actually covers the window, so you don't have to build like the normal like fence wall and then
half
half
wall
it.
and then like another
it's,
wall.
It's actually like, in the way that the mod is built.
Oh, well now you guys are frozen for me. Son of a bitch.
Can you hear us still?
Right at the ass end of the podcast too. Come on.
I don't think so.
Why you gotta do this to me, internet gods?
Bless. We must
Oh my gosh.
pray to the Red Nine and am2ruthless.
Hey, you brought it up this
Guys,
time.
pull me back in. Pull me back in. I'll be there in a minute.
Chicken. It's the
It's
chicken.
the chicken.
Come on. Now. Now. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, bless him.
Welcome to the podcast, folks.
This is such a pain in the ass.
Oh, bless him. Bless him. Well,
Danny,
fortunately...
you can make
Oh.
a metal plate to stop
There
it.
we go.
Are you all good now?
Yep, I'm all good now.
Right.
Stop
Welcome
spazzing
back
out
in.
finally.
But-
Fuck.
But with that, and hopefully that last technical issue, that is it for tonight's episode. Everybody, thank you so much for coming along. Ruthless, you've been a wonderful guest. Thank you for coming along. And
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
no, it's mate, it's been an absolute honor. It really has. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dump, again, thank you so much for coming on. Lemons, thank you for coming on as well, considering you're sick. I do hope you feel better soon enough.
Thank you.
But again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Everybody in chat, thank you very much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. Not too sure if we're going to have a guest on next week, but we will keep you updated in the Discord. But yeah, thank you very much. And with that, see you later, everybody.
That's all she wrote, folks.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye for now. And with that is the I was going to say final episode. That was like, hang on, I'm not going anywhere. But with that is the episode. Thank you everybody so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. It was really fun having Ruthless come on, despite the technical issues that he was facing. But it was really nice to have him on. He was supposed to come along back, like you said, in February, but I think that was a weekend Boyd he slept in, so unfortunately he wasn't able to get in at that time. But now he did, and I'm more than happy that he did. It's been a long week. It's been a really long week, but again, thank you everybody so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. Your support means so much to me. It really does. When this one is done, I'm going to make the previous episode public, so you guys can go ahead and watch that. We are in talks to get an editor on the team. It's going to be somebody from within the team, I believe, as far as I'm aware. So hopefully we can get the videos out properly in the future. Until that point, we will be just doing our normal stuff with the podcast. And we'll go on from there. Working on the Patreon, working on trying to implement the idea that I talked about quite some time ago about an after show. But we'll see what happens. If that's something you guys are still interested, please let us know. If you don't think it's a good idea, again, tell us in the Discord. But again, there's been so many questions, and I am sorry that I didn't address them. You feel free to talk about it in the Discord. There's always a topic discussion section. Make your own thread, get a conversation going, and any one of us will be more than happy to partake. But yeah, been great. Thank you. Right, everybody, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. I really do hope you enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you 9 o'clock British time on Friday next week. Take care, everyone. Bye bye for now.